married men.
All of us.
With children.
With children. Rudy?
You guys all have children?
We do.
Yeah.
We all girls.
We all have a daughter
All
each.
girls.
A daughter each.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, shoot.
Girl dads?
Oh, Lord, just a boy next, please.
I'm done right now, so
Nah, I feel you.
no. But hey, guys, welcome back to Creative Culture.
What up, familia?
Yo, it feels so good to be here.
Yeah, it does.
We are in, I always say LA, but I feel like that's not appropriate because
Where-
real LA people don't think we're in LA.
Where are we exactly?
Arcadia.
Arcadia.
Yeah,
Cool.
say Arcadia. Don't say El Monte.
Okay.
El Monte's bad.
It's not nice.
That's nice.
It's not nice.
Good people, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm sure. we got a great one for you today. We have a good friend of ours, new friend, that I've been following for a while and kind of seeing just
I watch all his videos.
God put him on, like, in the best definition.
Oh,
God
man.
is using this man. So I'm super excited to dive into conversation. This man is a coach. He's a creator. He helps ministry leaders create lives they love by taking charge of their health, their voice, and their ambitions. Help me welcome
Boy,
Rudy.
Hold up. You heard that intro?
Man, that was a good intro.
Oh.
Say it
I
one more
was
time.
looking for who was coming. Huh?
Like, who's this guy? This guy's great. No, man, I took that straight from your IG. So
Thanks, man.
no,
Really? Yeah.
no, thanks for making
Yeah,
the time,
it's-
Rudy. Yeah, straight from there. Thanks for making the time, man.
Thank you, man.
I know it's probably, I don't know if it was weird for you to just drive up to some random Airbnb with people you never met. But
It is the first time.
first time.
I can't say it was the first time.
No.
I wish I could. I drove to a random Airbnb with some random people. It's the second time. But
It's all right.
no, I'm excited, man. I trust you guys. Hopefully, we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, I gave you some water, so
This could be like a setup for a murder or something. I have no idea.
If
How
you
do you
don't hear
feel
from
right now?
Rudy anymore.
You've been drinking the water for a while. How do
I
you
know.
feel?
Come on.
he just falls over. No, let's
This is it.
the serial killer talk. Probably not.
I feel like I'm gonna pass out and then wake up, and then Aaron's gonna tell me some villain story where I didn't say hi to him.
He's
at
tied
some,
up.
Like,
He's tied up in a chair. That's
that one
terrible.
time.
Oh, we're so dark. Dang, that's crazy. No, man. I
We're
did
just
want to.
kidding, guys.
We are kidding, kind of.
Maybe. No, I'm just
We'll
kidding.
see.
No, I wanted to have him on, talk about some things that he's experienced, and just kind of dive into conversation if that's cool with y'all.
Let's go, bro.
Let's do it.
Yeah. So Rudy, you are newly married.
I am.
How long? I should start.
We
off.
got married June 14th. I got married to my beautiful wife, Emily Brienne. I was gonna say Cerna, but it's Villarreal now.
Ooh, come on.
Actually,
how
it's
you
not.
say
Legally, it's not.
Yeah.
But
It's a long process.
okay. Have your wives changed it? How long have you been married? For?
I've been married for almost 5 years.
Has your wife legally
June
changed?
24th.
Oh, really?
And
Nice.
we never got a marriage certificate. We just got it because we were traveling.
Oh,
When did I travel? A
A
month ago?
A couple months ago.
Probably like a month and a half ago. And I was like, all right, let's just go get our marriage certificate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And but now she's doing the process.
are you supposed to get it, or they're gonna send it?
They were
to you?
supposed to mail it, and they never mailed it to us.
Sometimes
I remember-
you gotta go find it, man.
I remember
Go get
getting
it.
mailed too. Yeah.
I got it done quick. I was like, shoot,
When-
I'm
when-
not gonna keep your last name.
When were you married?
Oh man.
When was I married?
Yeah.
I don't know. When was I married?
I don't
June
know.
23rd,
Bruh,
2000.
wait,
and-
bruh.
June.
23rd and
May.
24th.
May.
Yeah.
And then this guy over here, totally different.
man.
I'm so sorry.
Sorry.
You almost made the cut though.
It's true. We had our wedding date scheduled. We had invitations with, I think, the day before or after June, one of your guys' dates.
Yeah.
When was it?
I don't remember specifically, but we talked about
It was
this.
the 22nd, you said.
Something like that.
So
And
it
that
was
was
the
the
day
original.
before. That's
that would have been
crazy.
insane.
That would have been cool.
That would have been cool. But
Married for how long? A year almost?
It'll be a year.
It'll be
Be a year.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations, man.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
man, that's
It's
awesome.
a big deal.
It is. Marriage is amazing. I highly recommend it. Highly recommend it.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
yeah, it is. Yeah, were you guys friends for a long time or?
We were friends for a long time. We actually had mutual friends
Yeah.
and were not interested in each other at all. And like dated other people and like, had
Yeah.
our own lives. And then we were both, the stars aligned, the sun was shining, and we were both single at the same time. And
Amen.
Yeah.
she asked me to sing at her great grandmother's funeral.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Ooh.
And that was it.
My boy sang them vocals.
Just
She
like
said,
that.
"All
You
right."
met the family and
She
everything.
was like, "That's the one right there."
No, I don't think she had any. Well, I don't know. We'll see. But I was at the funeral and everybody
He
was
said, "We'll
saying,
see." You're already almost a year.
I
into
know.
marriage.
We'll see if I was.
Almost a year, and he's like, "Eh."
We'll see. We'll see.
So, how old are you, Rudy?
I am 27.
27.
Oh,
I
you're
just
our
turned
age, cool.
27.
Yeah, you are our age.
Yeah.
And-
Do I look older or younger?
No,
'Cause
honestly.
he was surprised. He was like, "Oh, you're our age."
I thought you were like 24-ish.
Oh, younger.
I thought you were a little bit
I would
younger.
have thought younger too because you've been married for a year.
Oh, got it.
That's
Yeah.
right.
And your wife's how old?
She's 24.
24.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was going to ask you, I was like, you're technically married at, is this still considered young? Like these days?
Well, nowadays it
I
is
think
because
so.
Yeah.
People
Yeah.
are waiting a long time to get married these days.
Yeah.
That's true.
I don't get it, man.
After the 30s,
I didn't wait.
I was 22.
Me too.
23.
I was 22.
Yeah.
I feel like it's a Latino thing too, though.
Yeah.
Get married young.
I think so.
You Mexican, Puerto Rican,
I'm Mexican.
Dominican.
100% Mexican.
Hey man,
100% pocho.
sorry Nemo,
Yeah.
you're a minority.
You're my
What are you?
Puerto
Technically, I am here. I'm Puerto Rican.
Oh,
100%.
nice.
Wear it on me.
that blood. No, man, that's awesome. No, congratulations on all that.
Thank
What
you.
is like, what has been the hardest transition so far? Like getting married, moving in together, and all that.
That's a great question.
Oh man, you're gonna get me in trouble. The biggest transition I think is just because we both work from home. We both have
Yeah.
our own businesses from home, and I think the biggest transition is like navigating space.
Sure.
And we, thank God we have our own offices and stuff, but
Yeah.
still like I think invading each other's like time and learning the balance between like when she's got the energy to work and when I have the energy to work, and for some reason it's always like the opposite.
Oh, yeah.
So like navigating that, for me, I'm entrepreneur to the core, and it's hard for me to shut work off, and she shuts it off quick.
She's good at that.
Yeah, she's like, oh no, I'm done. I've been done.
See, mine's the opposite. It's like, well, my wife, she don't know how to shut it off, and for me, it's like, oh, time's up.
Clock
I'm
out.
ready
I'll
for
finish
my
it
time.
tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like, but she's like, babe, it's 2 a.m.
yeah.
Go to sleep now. Like,
That's
That's
surprising because you're a creative brain too. That's where I think he gets from. Because
but I wake up real early and I create until a certain time.
That's true.
There you
So
go.
that way, then
Create
I
all day.
have my evening to just chill with my daughter,
Honestly,
Yeah.
that's
my
good.
wife.
That's
Smart.
So I wake up if I know I have to, like, I want to create crazy that day. I wake up at 5:30, 6 o'clock. I'll set my alarm so I know I'm up before everybody, so I can actually do more. My daughter's not running around
Right.
or whatever. I don't
More
have to go.
effective.
I don't have to go to the studio.
Right.
So I'm like, cool. I'll just sit here in the house and edit, record.
Smart.
That's good, dude.
Smart. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you guys have plans for like kids and stuff? You guys have.
We do.
Amen.
We do. I can't wait to be a father, but I can wait to be a father. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like I'm excited. I think it's gonna be fun. She's gonna be the most amazing mom like in the world. And I mean, sorry, besides all your wives, I guess. But to me, my wife's gonna be the most amazing. No, just because she's got a little brother with special needs, and she's got younger siblings, and so
gifted.
she's got a gift to just mother, and so I'm excited to see that.
Yeah.
So I want to give her a baby, like to see that, but I also want to enjoy our time together.
Yeah,
And
for
so
that's
sure.
I'm not in a
important
hurry.
too, man.
Please do that.
That's a question a lot of people are debating. Like, when do we have kids?
Right.
It's a big deal. People who have kids like us, we all got kids at a young age.
Well,
Yeah.
he waited a
Kinda.
while.
20.
No, but how long
Waited a
did you
couple
wait?
years.
How long did you wait until you had a kid?
I was 26. I was 26.
And how long you guys have been married by then?
We'll be married 6 years in next month. So 3 years,
You waited 3 years.
about there.
How long did you wait?
How long did you wait? Bro, we made it like
The
a
same
month.
time. Our kids are 2 weeks apart,
2
literally.
weeks
What?
apart. So we
14
got married
days
a day
apart.
and then the kids.
Oh, so honeymoon babies.
So, I don't know. Something
Y'all
like that, I guess.
just didn't waste no time.
I just happened.
I was like, Nemo, you ready?
Let's do this.
He's in Kansas.
You guys
I'm in
clockworked
Fresno.
it? You guys,
Yeah.
Here we go.
today's the day.
Go. He's at 8:30. All right, cool.
I bet.
But our wives are planning now to want to have kids at the same time
Again.
again too. So that's pretty cool.
Are you guys like? Are your wife's siblings or something?
No, it's
No, just good
we
friends.
just we
Friends.
just became best friends.
Yeah.
That's,
Oh.
yeah.
That works.
Yeah. No, when people ask me that, like, you got married young, but you didn't have kids that young. I 100% say try to enjoy the freedom as long as you can.
Yeah.
You're gonna know when you're ready for it.
Yeah.
I didn't want kids initially
At all.
at all. That was almost a
Wow.
deal breaker
My man.
for me and V
just-
and my wife.
Dang.
I didn't want kids. Yeah, I liked
That's
freedom,
so
be able to come and go whenever I wanted, and then obviously when you find the right person, like
Yeah.
that kind of changes your mentality. But yeah, we enjoyed freedom for like 2.5, 3 years, and like we knew it was all right. Let's do it. Like
Dang.
that's what it was.
How many kids do you guys want to have?
I think we've settled on. I don't think we've settled on anything. I always say I want as many kids as I can afford and she can handle, like physically.
He's like,
Because
that being said, 15.
15. No, just because I grew up just me and my sister,
Okay.
and so now we're like my kids are gonna have one Thea.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? And her kids are gonna have one Theo,
Yeah.
which is not terrible, but
Right.
So you figure like probably like 3, 4,
yeah. Well, I want like 5
5.
personally,
that's a good
but
number.
again, I'm not carrying them, so it's up to my wife whatever
Right,
she
right,
feels.
right.
But
That's
She
awesome.
wants
She's
a-
Mexican.
she is,
She's Mexican.
yeah,
So she knows him.
yeah. And she's got a lot of siblings, so she gets it. She's like, no, I want a big family. I want to have
Okay.
my kids to have a lot of like cousins and stuff. So
So we need to have at least another one from you.
Make it happen.
We might see
V,
one more.
please.
We might see one more. I don't know.
You know,
It's so much work, bro.
it is. It's amazing.
and,
man.
and that's again, I said it real ignorant. 5, easy.
No,
you know, that's ignorant. I haven't had one. You know.
I always wanted 2. Like that was our our
Yeah.
goal.
Yeah.
And I'm
A
like,
boy
we
and
had
a girl,
one.
typically.
I thought I wanted boys, but now I just want girls.
Yeah, all girls.
I need a
Yeah.
boy, man. I'm the last one with the last name Cardona, so
So that don't
Boy
even
needs to
bother
carry
me.
That's
on
me
that
too.
name.
I'm like legacy needs to continue, man.
Right.
Well,
That's
fair
still
enough.
that's just the way I see it.
Yeah.
But if I don't have a boy, I already got 3. I already got 3 girls' names.
Girl dad
Chosen.
to wear a
I ain't
bro.
tripping.
And you're gonna have some sons too when they get married, man.
Facts.
But
Yeah,
not
that's
yours.
true.
They're not yours.
Not
But
yours.
they ain't
not
gonna
yours.
have the last name Cardona.
That's what I was
No,
gonna say.
that's true.
Did your parents grow up telling you that? Because I've been hearing that since I was a kid.
No,
You're the last Villarreal.
no.
You're the
Oh,
last
yeah?
one.
No, if anything, my dad wanted me to be a girl, not a boy. And then
Like even after you were born.
no. But like,
You can
You,
these days.
Can you change?
Feel
but
free.
You can do
the
that
template
right
for
now.
Transition.
he had a whole name chosen. And everything. Like,
What was your name?
I was supposed to be Jasmine Marie.
Ooh, I'm gonna start calling you.
You look
Jasmine.
jazzy. You look a little jazzy.
You know.
Jazzy,
And then
Jasmine.
he chose Nehemiah, and my mom was like, "Why? I'm Puerto Rican. What the heck?" I said, "No, mom, you choose terrible names. Listen to my other brothers.
Where's your
They,
pick?
we got Ernesto, Luis Geraldo, Luis, and Junior. I'm cool with Nehemiah. Like that's
Those are some strong names.
yeah. She was tripping for sure.
Strong.
So like the last
so
two,
polite.
No,
she's
because my
tripping
last
on.
two brothers is Louis Junior Cruz, and then my other brother is Junior Lewis. I'm like, Mom, really? You just- what is wrong? You were really high that moment. You were really coked out.
She was
She's like,
just
I was.
culture. She wasn't creative.
Hey.
She had
All culture, no
Wow.
creative.
Wow.
Shoot.
That's good.
Just drop the
I'm
mic.
gonna
on
tweet
that
it.
one. All culture, no creative.
So, as we're talking
No
about,
creativeness.
since we're talking about marriages and stuff, what are you guys' like love languages with each
Ooh, that's
other?
good.
That's good. My wife's is quality time, number 1, and acts of service. So like those are her top 2. For me, it's quality time, physical touch. Like I'm a very like a hugger. Like I like to know she's there. And
Yeah.
words of affirmation, like those 3. I think words of affirmation, my first one.
Same.
Quality touch.
Quality touch is great.
Quality's good. Quantity. Yeah. Anyway, physical touch, and then quality time. But for my wife, I'm learning that what wins her over is like she wakes up and the house is clean, or like
Acts of
doing the
service.
dishes, acts of service. Yeah, like things like that really make her happy.
Okay.
Or like, hey, I'm not gonna work today. I'm taking you out. Like that's like, what? Really? You're not gonna work? You're
She
choosing me
likes-
over work?
She likes the spontaneous stuff too, right?
Yes, she does. She does, but she just knows that like she loves to feel that. I mean, I think any woman likes to know that they're being
She's
chosen
there.
over your
Everything.
anything else.
sure.
Right.
So those are the things. For me, you can come hug me, give me a kiss, mack me a little bit. I'll be happy.
Same. Tell me that I am the greatest.
Yeah.
You know.
Tell me I'm fine.
Tell me
Right.
I'm good looking.
No, I'm just kidding.
As I sit here on the couch all fat, tell me, tell me like that's the
My
best
boy
Tell
couch.
me I look
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah.
We all look like potatoes right now.
No, that's the same for me, man. Honestly,
Yeah,
same
that's
exact
good.
love languages for me and V. And I feel like
Really, she likes to.
Well,
have
when's the
everything
last
clean?
time you guys took it?
she's acts of service and quality time.
Okay.
So
When
what's
was the
that?
last time you guys figured it out?
This maybe 2 years ago or so.
Okay.
We could. I don't know if that changes. I'm sure it does.
No, it definitely not, dude. We just took ours
And it
2 weeks
changed?
ago.
What is it?
How long you been married?
5 years. 5 years this June.
And it changed?
Oh yeah, man.
Really?
Man.
What is it? What is it?
I don't even know if I want to say it.
I was gonna say he's got like a really like crazy
All right, what's
grin on right
yours?
now.
What's yours?
All right, no, I'm talking about mine. I don't even know if I want to say mine. Hers,
Why don't you want to
Why
say
don't you want to
yours?
say yours? Physical touch
physical touch is last right now for me.
is like
Acts
lasting.
of service is first.
What's wrong with that?
No, there's nothing wrong with it.
No, acts of
Physical
service
touch
is
was
fine.
first last time or second.
You're
I don't know, but it's
maturing.
So
definitely
it's
a
acts of
season.
service and what else?
Acts of service. It's quality time,
Mm.
and then Tide is words of affirmation, and what was the last one? Not the fourth one.
Physical touch?
That's not physical touch.
Oh, no.
Acts of service.
Acts of service.
You said 4 of them. I think.
Food? Is food one? No.
No,
It's kind
That
of
could be
that's physical touch. Too.
What is it?
no, I said
quality time, acts of service, physical touch,
Words of affirmation.
words of
of
affirmation.
Yeah.
No, there's
This was a fifth one.
There's a fifth
That's
one.
what it
That
was.
one obviously means nothing to me.
Oh, gifts.
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 Yeah.
Gifts,
There it is.
Yeah, and then it was gifts and then physical touch.
Okay.
And gifts is normally last for me, man.
Yeah.
So.
What reason I bring that up? I feel like it was easier for like my wife's love languages. It was easier for me to do acts of service and quality time when we were dating,
Oh,
and I was trying to like win her over.
Yeah.
After we got married,
Alright,
and especially after we had a kid, that was so much harder for me
Right.
to keep on doing. And that's what we have. Like that's our struggle now is like making sure that we're intentional about doing that.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys have had anything like that where it's gotten harder over the years, or maybe it has for you guys during your relationship already. I don't know.
Are you asking me? Sorry. I didn't
Anybody.
want to interrupt.
Yeah.
Anybody.
Well, I was going to say, I think it's funny you say things are changing because I feel like ours are changing because quality time is not as much a necessity now that we're married because we live together. Like it is necessary, but time is not necessary. It's quality time. Like it's the type of time that we give
Very
each other
true.
that's more, that's different because we see each other. We don't even text. Like I don't think the last time that we've texted because we're literally with each other
Yeah.
24/7. We work together. We live together. We do church together. We do like everything's together. So it's the type of quality time. And that I think it's changed. And then for her, for some reason, gifts is a thing for her now. It wasn't before.
Wow. So
Okay.
it is.
Ever. Like
Oh,
ever.
sure.
Like, oh no, don't give me gifts.
Depends
Like
on your season.
Yeah.
maybe now she sees my bank account. I was like,
Amen.
just kidding. Yeah, right.
I love
Now that she
gifts.
knows, she's probably like, oh, poor guy. No gifts. It's okay. But yeah, that's changed. That's changed a little bit. Is that what the question was? I'm sorry.
No, that's perfect. I mean,
Yeah,
to
yeah.
play right off of that, like what you were saying is like the quality time now becomes outside of the realm that you guys
Yes.
live in. Like
Yes.
it's something different.
Yeah.
Has to be.
Yeah.
Has to be.
That's awesome.
I can't imagine having a kid and what that's going to do too.
It changes things.
It
for
changed
sure.
for me when I had a kid. Quality time became for her number one because it wasn't that. It was words of affirmation and what was the other one?
Gifts.
Acts of service.
Acts of
touch.
service. That's what it was.
Yeah.
And then it changed.
Mm.
Changed the quality time is like the one thing. And she likes when I go do random stuff for her. Like,
Yeah.
I just randomly took her to the movies last week. Just random.
That's huge, bro.
She's like,
Yeah.
we celebrated her nephew's birthday,
Nice.
our nephew's birthday, and then after that, I was like, hey, we're gonna drop off Phyla, and then we're gonna go to the movie. She's like, what? I was like, yeah. You didn't see the notification? I just bought the tickets. She's just like, oh, okay. And then like to her, that meant the world to her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
That's-
And it's finding time. Like all of us are involved in ministry and working and all that. And then when you have kids, it's like when you do that little thing. When we went to dinner the other night and the movie, like that was huge.
Oh my god,
Yeah,
yeah.
Because we hadn't been to the movies in I don't even remember how long. You know?
I haven't been to movies since before pandemic.
Yeah.
Oh
So
shit.
that's when like because it's true ministry. You know, she's doing her photography.
Yeah.
She's always busy with that. I end up going to the church, doing some stuff with video or whatever, or trying to, we have worship rehearsal and stuff like that. Tuesday nights used to be our thing.
Mhm.
We used to go do stuff, and then, I was like, no, I got to be at worship rehearsal now. So,
Yeah.
stuff, so
You know what I'm finding is a new, like it's not in the book, but maybe it is. I don't know. Well, a new love language, or at least maybe it's an act of service that I didn't know would be something for my wife is not scheduling myself on a Sunday and sitting with her, like not
Wow.
scheduling either of us to do anything on a Sunday, like at church and sitting together in church. we'd been married. I mean, we've been married almost 9 months now, 10 months. And I recognized like, wait a second, we haven't sat in church together. Either I'm like serving, she's serving, I'm doing something. And like, we haven't sat during worship. We haven't sat during the word. And like, a few months in, she was like, hey, I noticed we've been scheduled every single week. And so for her, I think one of the new things that I didn't recognize would be something big for her is like taking the time to like sit with her during church. It sounds so simple and like so.
That is a big
But
deal.
it's a
means a
big
lot,
deal
yeah.
though.
Yeah.
It's such a. I mean, you can probably talk about that because you're music tech
Yeah,
director.
I just did it my first time in like 2 years. We sat together like 3 weeks ago.
It's huge.
I was like, and then people were commenting on that, like, "Dude, Joe, this is the first time I seen you sit next to your wife in like years."
Yeah.
That's
Like,
true.
So, Nick, look
It's
at-
because you're in the sound booth. After we're done with worship, she's in the second row,
yeah.
and usually it's like that for us too. Like she's either going to take a picture somewhere, or I'm taking the pictures, so she can at least enjoy the service.
Exactly.
Because I'm like, well, I'll watch the service. I'll watch the service tonight.
Yeah.
Right.
Like I'll watch the worship or whatever, critique the crap out of myself.
They're
what
probably
I did
like,
wrong.
Joey, are you guys
You
okay?
know?
Is everything okay?
Yeah, you guys seem like you're in love.
It's like, we are. Thank you.
Yeah.
Having a great time. No, I do want to thank you for sharing that. That's awesome. I do want to segue a little bit into another journey that I think we can all kind of talk about a little bit with our, getting older. We're almost all 30.
Thanks,
Hey,
man.
bro, don't
Thanks.
say that again.
Who's the
Almost
closest?
all-
Who's the closest?
He's older
one?
than me a little bit.
Wait, hold on, you
Oh.
said you're 28?
27.
Oh, dang
We're
it.
both
So don't give me that extra year.
You got a couple months on
Don't
me.
give
I
that
think.
extra
Yeah,
year.
October.
Yeah, I'm January.
Yeah.
You'll be 28 in October?
No, 29 in October.
29 in
October
October.
10?
See, October 10, 10.
I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good
Remember.
friend right there.
It is, huh?
I just guessed. I ain't gonna lie to you.
October 10th. No, I do want to talk about our weight loss journeys and
Oh, yeah.
that lifestyle.
Or lack of.
Why would we
lack
talk about
of-
this when you literally recorded me yesterday and tagged my
Bruh.
freaking coach, gym coach?
Because he was on
me
the last
eating a
podcast
chip.
with
You're
us.
going to tag him in, huh?
Big old Funyun.
Love
No.
you, Coach B.
I think that's something that's so real that a lot of people honestly struggle with and don't like to talk about because it is kind of a sensitive subject for a
Right.
lot of people. Even for me, just thinking about it, like we've all grown up playing sports. Oh, you're
Very
good.
good.
Sorry, guys.
We've all grown up playing sports, and like we're at a moment like he was in the military, to where we were in, like our prime. And technically, we're in our prime right now.
I know.
And I'm in the worst shape of my life,
Yeah.
So I'm like, can you talk about a little bit, Rudy? I know you just had a crazy transformation recently.
Yeah. I gained which transformation you want me to talk about? The gain or the loss?
Let's talk about the loss.
Yeah. So yeah, no, I in 2019 I started I was going through a lot of like anxiety and depression and just a lot of chaos in life, and I think I was dealing with just rocky everything. Nothing was good. I couldn't like grasp anything, and yet I felt like I had an okay life. It was weird. And I felt like the Lord at one point was like, look, man, you are out of whack. Like everything you're doing is out of whack. And I felt like I couldn't grasp anything in life. And I remembered a story in scripture where Jesus is saying, how can you claim to love your brother who you can see, or a God you can't see, and struggle to love a brother you can't see this. So the principle is like, if you can't do it in the physical,
Right.
it's going to be hard to prove that you can do it, or at least attempt to handle your spiritual disciplines.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt like, man, I had no discipline on my body at all. I was 328 pounds.
Wow.
And I had no like,
I would have never guessed that.
Oh, for real?
328? Well, how much you weigh right now?
right. Oh, I hate that question. Right now I'm 265,
265?
That's not bad.
but I got down to
Shoot, that's
248,
good.
You're tall. How tall are you?
6'3".
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. But,
Then I get 6'2".
and this camera's not helping right here. I look like Barney. I'm right
Not
here like,
even,
I
bro.
love you.
Yeah, bro. Wrong shade of purple, man.
Yeah. So anyway, so I was 328 pounds, like doing ministry, doing all kinds of great stuff, but still feeling like something was missing. I was like not balanced at all in life. And I felt like the Lord was like, all right, start with your weight. And I was like, all right. So I tried to lose weight my whole life because I was always chunky. I was like always the chunky kid.
Yeah.
And
Did you play sports?
did I?
Yeah, did you?
No.
No? Okay.
I should have, because it would have made sense. Like,
Would've helped out a
oh,
little bit.
bulking season, his whole life. His whole life has been He's been bulking his whole life. Like,
Even with them tacos. And
yeah,
stuff.
yeah. No. It's football.
bulking.
It's football, mom.
I
Yeah.
need the calories.
Yeah. No, it's because I have to run. Anyway, no, I didn't do anything. I was a nerd, so I did a lot of reading, and like my mom used to ground me from books. That's how
Wow.
that was me.
Wow.
I remember one
Oh,
time
that's too funny,
getting
man.
so in trouble. My mom was like, "I'm taking your video games," and I was like, "All right, take them." I would just read all day, and then she took a big box, like a crate, and she put all my books in. And that got me. I was like, "No, not my books." So that was me. And then art. I got into like music and that kind of stuff later on in life.
We'll talk about that.
And I had to choose, like, are you gonna go to rehearsal or are you gonna go to football practice? Like it was one or the other. And honestly, sports was never like I wasn't that cool. Yeah, I wish I would have. Everybody I was asked, coaches always like, dude, you're 6'6" this or you're 5'8" or whatever. When I was a kid, like, you're gonna play, and I'm like, nah, I can't. Like, I have to go sing for the Lord. Anyway, so like, yeah. So 2019, I was like, I have to do something. So yeah, we went on this journey. In 5 months, I lost 75 pounds. And like that was like life changing for me, not just for my physical health, but like everything else that was
Your
attached to that.
Mental.
There were my ministry, like everything was benefiting from it, and
discipline.
it was a level of discipline I had not had, and self control that I hadn't had.
Yeah,
and I felt like to say that I was a minister of music or a worship leader, or just anybody, or a Christian, a believer, and to not have self-control over what went into my mouth. Like I couldn't even control like my eating habits, and to say like, no, but I have the self-control to pray and I have the self-control to fast, and here I am, a man of God. And I just felt very hypocritical. And so after losing the weight, I felt like the freedom that I gained from the weight loss in not just my physical body, but feeling like free to, like, it sounds dumb, but I remember one time leading worship at this event, and after feeling like, why do I feel so liberated? Like, what is this freedom beyond like spiritual freedom, like, the freedom that the Lord gives us? But I remember thinking back, like, what in this moment made me feel free? And I remember thinking, I didn't at once feel like I had to go like this, and cover my stomach, and like, which just sounds silly, it sounds dumb, but the insecurity that you go through at 328 pounds and at 75 pounds different it's a huge difference. And so after that, people started reaching out, how did you do this? What are you doing? Like, what in the world? If this guy could do it, then maybe I could do it. And so now I partner with pastors and ministry leaders to help them gain control over their weight as well, and in other parts of their lives. So
what's the main thing that you teach them? Like, what's like, if it's that one thing that you can tell people, people right now, what would be that one thing? It's
the small things. Like, it sounds so simple, but it's the small things. It's the small habits. And I really focus on the mindset shift that has to happen before you go on a diet, before you start a workout regimen, before any of that. It has to start with a switch in your mentality. One of my favorite scriptures is, be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. Transformation comes from the renewing of mind. And a lot of things that we deal with that I dealt with at 328 pounds was a result of this mentality of, like, simple one, ready? My dad has a habit of, you don't leave food on the plate. Like, you have to eat that. That's a waste. And so he would grab all our plates at the end. And my dad's fit. He works out. He's cool. But so he could do that because he needed to bulk up, right? But so I grew up with that mindset, like, you can't waste food. If there's still food left over in the pot or the pan, you got to finish that. So dumb little like mindsets.
Y'all have that too? Do y'all have that too?
Oh yeah, dude.
I feel like that's a Mexican thing too. No, maybe it's a Mexican thing.
Not a Puerto Rican thing.
You usually just save it for later.
No,
My dad would
my
get
mom
mad,
always
bro.
told me, you
He
finish
gave me
your
a talk
plate.
one time. My brother and I.
Yeah.
Really?
Thanksgiving dinner. Yeah. He's like, he told me a whole reason about kids and not being able to.
In other countries.
Super
I
unhealthy.
know.
I'm so sorry to cut you off.
No, that's true.
Yeah,
That's good. That was one mindset. Another one was, no matter if you had breakfast, lunch, and dinner already, after church, we're going to eat.
Yeah.
No matter what.
That was all.
You had
That's a church
It's a
thing.
church
Yeah.
thing.
I would have to agree to that.
Yeah, 3 meals. Who cares? You had 4 before. It doesn't matter. We're going to eat after church. And those kind of habits, those mindsets of like, why do we do this? The idea that food makes us happy.
Such a lie.
It's a lie. Like, it's yes, is there serotonin released and all? Yeah, of course. There's a science behind it. But what makes us happy is this. It's the communion. And most of our especially in the Christian world or Latino world, any world, I guess.
Yeah.
Most of our happiness comes from being around each other, and usually food is involved.
Always.
Like, when's the last time you
Breaking
asked?
bread.
When's the last time you asked someone like, "Bro, let's hang out. Let's go on a hike."
We'll get
It's
pizza.
usually let's go get lunch. Let's go get dinner. Let's
Yeah.
go like.
When somebody asks me that, I'm like, "Damn, I don't really feel like spending money right now."
That's the first
because
thing
it
you go
involves food.
Because it
to.
involves food.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, we couldn't go on a
Yeah.
walk. We couldn't go like play football or whatever. Like, no, it's
Yeah, exactly.
like, bro, let's get lunch or let's get dinner or let's
get
everything we
coffee,
do is
yeah.
centered around food.
Food revolt, man.
That's good.
Well,
So
Joey, we don't have to do that no more.
No,
He just said it.
we'll play.
Let's go play basketball like we did the other day.
I am down. Yeah, sports. I mean, that's the opposite. You're working
Exactly.
It's fun.
out, hanging out.
So Rudy,
We
what
don't do
was that? Maybe something happened or someone said something to you that like flipped that switch to get you to renew your mind. And was there like a moment that got you to this point? Because it's pretty hard to get out of a rut when you're in one. You just kind of want to go
Yes.
deeper.
Yeah.
What changed that for you?
Hiring a coach,
Okay.
hiring a health coach. Yeah, that was huge because we see it. I don't mean to be spiritual guy, but we see even scripturally, Lazarus dies and can't raise himself up from the dead.
Right.
Just can't.
Oh, man, that's
it,
good.
it requires an outside voice, an outside person to come in and
That'll
speak into
preach,
you.
bro.
And so having a health coach, having someone outside of you to speak into you, to keep you accountable. I'm huge on mentorship. I'm a huge believer on like everybody needs a mentor of some kind
Yep.
in their life.
Good.
Pastor, you need a spiritual leader. You need like if you're a business owner, you need a business leader.
Yeah.
You need a health coach, or like a gym coach, whatever, some type of person helping you to accelerate in areas of your life. And so having a health coach to connect with when I didn't want to be healthy, and also when I was succeeding, I needed someone to be like, "Hey, this is it. Like you're doing it."
That's good.
So for me, it was having a coach, an outside voice.
I think that can apply to so many things. Just
Yeah.
even in any weakness outside of even fitness and
Yep.
health related, it can be any struggle.
Absolutely.
Like having
Be the
someone to
littlest
lead on.
thing.
Like we talked about this the other day, locking arms with each other. Like when I'm weak, I need you to help hold on to me so I don't
Yeah.
fall all the way. So that's huge.
It's the principle. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're good.
It's a principle of succession. So like your daughters will be better off than you just because they're your daughters.
Yeah.
Because they will learn from all the mistakes, all the growth. They are starting their life. The moment they were born, they're starting their life on the shoulders of yours. And mentors do the same thing.
Yeah.
You get to sit with a mentor. One of my mentors, Pastor Aaron, I sat with him one time and he said, "I'm 30 something years old."
Not me.
He's like, Pastor Aaron. No, Pastor Aaron Barbosa.
Yeah.
I sat with him and he was like, "Dude, I'm 30 something years old. I get to give you in a year of mentorship 30 years of my life.
Yeah.
Things that took me
Experience.
30 years
Yeah.
to
To
learn.
learn.
I get to give it to you in even one talk sometimes. Like, hey, bro, it took me 16 years to figure out this is how you treat your wife."
Wow.
Right? I learned it in one
true.
session. So mentor, I'm huge on that.
That's
It excels your life
100%. Like,
so much.
just thinking about the people, even just my father, he's, I'm sure all of us can speak to that. They've just kind of helped us
Yeah.
with so many of those kind of conversations and the experiences they've been through, not even just ministry and life. So that's huge. What do you think keeps people from like hiring a coach or taking that next step to change something?
Vulnerability, insecurity. I think
Wow.
one of the biggest things is I think it's one of the things that stops people from getting married too, by the way, is the fear of somebody seeing my dirty laundry, someone knowing the worst of me, and the fear of being rejected.
Wow.
Like that's what I think when I get on calls with potential clients, especially people of ministry leaders. Like, hey, can you just not tell anybody? Or hey, can you do I have to check in with you every week? Like, what if I don't lose weight? Can I just tell you when I do lose weight? Like, everybody's afraid of rejection, embarrassment, insecurity, which truthfully at the core is pride. We all deal with like not wanting to look less than who we are. And I feel like most people are embarrassed or afraid of that vulnerability. Same in marriage. Like once I got married, there was nothing I could hide. Like I guess I could try really hard, but not when I'm with her 24/7. And so she's learning the good, the bad, the ugly in the same way a coach who's in the trenches with you learns the good, the bad, and the ugly. And most of us don't like that.
I think, that's huge. I remember doing like a weight loss challenge. Like everyone does those groups once in a while, but it's like Biggest Loser type of thing. I remember first weigh-in, people were starting to quit because they didn't lose any weight or they gained weight, and so they just were like quitting and just give me my money back or whatever.
Right.
So I'm like, that's huge. You guys have anything on that at all? Anything more?
No,
on
I
that?
think that's real good. Like for me, Coach Breeze helped me a lot with that.
Yeah.
Because he tells me all the time, the first thing you need to beat before you lose weight is your mind. He's like, once you beat that, you're good to go. And once you beat that, bro, you'll be a monster in this gym or in the where we work out at. So I think that's real great.
I feel like it's the first week that's always the hardest too. It's just like breaking all of these bad habits. For me, it's the first week for sure.
I think for me, I think it's month 1 after the first month. Oh, I've lost already 10 pounds.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Like getting comfortable. Like, I
Yeah.
feel way better.
Oh, I
that's a good
went on
perspective,
vacation for a week.
See, a lot of
I have
people-
not been the same since I came back from Pennsylvania.
Right.
And I know that.
Yeah.
I've slacked off. And he's like, I'm not gonna push you. He's like, that's your mind, bro. He's
Yeah.
like, come back. And he tells me all the time, like,
It's always a mind battle, man. Everything, man. You know, everything you deal with, even sin, bro. It starts up right here first.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot of things I think we choose not to do. Like for me, I always feel silly. I'll be real honest with you guys. It's your podcast. I'll be honest. I feel real silly because even after losing the 75 pounds, I still wasn't 6-pack, still not, full, like all the way down to my lowest. Still had a long ways to go. And I remember literally, I remember my health coach calling me and she was like, hey, I have literally, there's no joke. She says 80 something DMs right now in my Instagram of all your people who are saying, I saw Rudy's post. I saw this. I saw Rudy. And they're all asking me to coach them. And I don't have, I can't take more clients. So I'm either going to push them off to other health coaches or you need to take the routes that required for you to learn how to do this with people.
Yeah.
And I said, I can't be a health coach. I'm like still a little bit overweight. Like I'm not like a gym rat. And, cause I did it all with nutrition. I wasn't in the gym at all. And I was like, I'm not a gym rat. I don't have a 6-pack. Like, let me get there. And then, I'll start helping people, Okay. And I think one of the biggest mistakes for anybody who's going into helping other people in any way is the assumption that I have to have arrived first and then help people. I think there is certain things, for example, I can't be a doctor, just, be like, well, let me
I'm almost there.
Yeah. But even in that,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if anybody's a doctor here, but I think it's funny that most of what doctoring
8
does.
years away. 8 years away.
8 years away? Are you really going to be a doctor?
No.
Oh,
That's the time frame.
Oh.
8 years.
you kind of look like a doctor the way you dress right now.
right.
You look like you're about
Physical
to sell
therapist,
us.
maybe like
Yeah,
you're a
yeah.
physical therapist.
Let me help you real quick.
Yeah. Oh wow, that was an interesting move, man.
Here, I'll show you one right here. That's yours.
So she was telling me like you need to partner with these people. These are your pastors or people that. And I said no, I can't do that. And she said, so why do you tell people about heaven? And I was like, what do you mean?
Yo.
Because you've never been
Oh.
She was like, why do you tell people about heaven?
Oh.
And I was
Have
like,
your wife on the podcast,
I was like, what do you mean? Like I don't get it. And she was like, you need to recognize that we spend our whole life as ministry leaders telling people about Jesus and not yet arriving to perfection yet.
No, that's a coach to have.
Yes. And she was like, you need to.
Oh, this was your coach.
My coach told me.
Oh.
She was like, you need to take what you know and share it with all these people and help change their lives. And I was like, she's like, all of them are waiting for you to say yes to helping them. And I was like,
Sheesh.
all right. And to this day, weight gain, weight loss, I'm still in the trenches with people. And the reality is we're all on this journey. We're all, and some people, they need to connect with the gym rat. They need to connect with the guy that's like 6-packed out because that's what I want.
What they need. Yeah.
For other people, I need someone who understands me right this second, right now. And that was me.
Yeah.
I couldn't handle I hated some of my gym teachers because they were like all fit and tall and like, they're like, come on. Like, you don't get it. I'm 300 pounds. It's not that easy to run this mile. And so I think there's a remnant of people, a lot of people who are like, I need the real, honest, like we're in the trenches together.
Yeah.
And so, I'm a coach, but I'm really all about pulling people in with me. And hey, we're doing this together. We're all trying to arrive together.
I think that plays on your point to where you didn't necessarily want to step out yet.
Right.
And it plays to the vulnerability portion.
Yeah.
So I'm like, that is huge.
Absolutely.
But you did mention a second journey
Yes.
that we are all probably aware of.
Yeah.
So at least I know him from.
What's that?
Was it, you talking
No,
about
no. I had one more.
Oh, okay,
One more
okay.
question on this.
Oh,
part. This is so.
oh.
He's talking about the dreaded
This is
journey.
this is another vulnerable thing that you can talk about here. I mean, we can all probably share about.
Now, remember when you asked me that there's things that are off limits? Is there anything?
Is this it right here?
No, just kidding.
Okay.
He's
Don't
like,
ask me the question.
this
This is the one.
This is the one. No,
Because if anybody looks on these cameras, they can't tell that I gained weight. Yeah, right.
So
Yeah, right.
how are you feeling about that, and what has kind of been? Has it been because of marriage? Has it been lifestyle change?
Both.
Yeah.
Both and all of the above. All of the above. Because I feel like multiple things. My marriage was a goal for me. I want to lose a ton of weight before I get married because I didn't want to surprise my wife with what was under my clothes. So I was like, I want to get married. I want to do it right. And I also wanted to look good in a suit on my wedding day.
Man.
And
You guys,
so
you look good. by the
Oh,
way.
thank you. I
look
appreciate
good.
it. Put that over this right here. Like, just let that photo. No, I'm just kidding. So,
just his mouth moving.
yeah, just like they do on TikTok and stuff. Anyway, so that was my big goal.
Yeah.
And after achieving it, I made a mistake that a lot of people do on any journey is they don't revisit the goal. And you have to, in any journey you take, whether it's weight loss, I got these goals, I want to do these things. There has to be a real compelling why attached to it. Why am I doing it? And for me, the reason I even got into the journey in the first place, because I wanted to be a good husband and a good father, because I knew people who passed away prematurely because of their health issues
Yeah.
and left their children and their wives. And I was like, nah, that's not going to be me. And there's specific gentlemen that I knew who passed away, and his whole life, his weight was a joke. It was like, oh yeah, I'm heavy this, and I'm big this, and I'm fat this. And it was always a joke. And unfortunately, he passed away early. And I vowed, I said, this is not going to be me. I'm not going to get married, die halfway through, and my wife be a widow, or my kids not have a father. And so after I got married and I was at a healthy goal weight, I didn't revisit that goal. I didn't revisit the why. And so I kind of like plateaued. I stopped eating healthy, kind of just let things go. I got comfortable being married.
Yeah.
Because who do I have to impress when I'm already married? Like, where's she going to go? You know?
Yeah.
So I didn't revisit that. And so I needed to like completely revamp, go, wait, why am I doing this in the first place? Oh, I need to do it for me, not for her, I need to do this for me so that I last, my ministry lasts. Because there's nothing that can end my ministry prematurely like death, early death. Like there's nothing.
True
I mean,
story.
I can't blame the devil for like stopping my ministry if my overeating did it. You know what I mean? And so I had to make that decision. Like, all right, I want to do ministry full time. I want to be a husband full time. I want to be a good father when it's time. So what's the one thing I can control? It's my health.
Yeah.
You know. So, but here we are. Little extra pounds.
Are you like trying to get back into it?
I am. I'm
Yeah.
back. I've lost as of what is today? Friday. As of Monday, I've lost 5 pounds. So
There you go.
good.
hey, it's a good start.
Heck yeah.
But
I always say that. I'm like, I'm starting on Monday. It's like
Right.
Tuesday. I'm starting Monday.
Right.
It's fine.
That's such a lie, right? We just need to start. Just whatever day.
start.
Just
Start
do
on
it.
Wednesday. Who cares?
Right.
No, that's good, man. You are not a gym person then, gym rat.
At all.
All nutrition.
I have not been to a
That's
gym
huge.
in years.
That's awesome.
I needed to focus on one thing, and the strategy is one healthy habit at a time.
That's good.
And a lot of time, we always tell our clients, you can't outrun your fork. And a lot of people feel like, well, I'll eat like this, but as long as I work out like this, I'm
Doesn't
good to
work that
go.
way.
And so if you can put the cart before the horse, which in my opinion is nutrition, and some people can handle both. Most people like myself with 328 pounds, overweight, can only handle one good, like focused habit at a time.
Yeah.
And so we focus on nutrition initially.
I always felt like in that kind of thought, 70% is nutrition, 30% is the actual exercise.
That's how it feels. Yeah, for sure.
That's where I always struggled, was the 70%.
Yeah.
Too.
Most of us do.
Yeah.
It's tough.
Oh,
man.
I'll just work out.
I'll just work out harder. It's fine.
Yeah.
Like you can only burn so many
Right,
calories. Like
right.
you're in a surplus like crazy. So,
Right.
but that's good. Thank you for sharing that, man.
Yeah.
I know
That's
that
real.
takes a level of vulnerability. So
I'm so vulnerable.
Dude, I will say
Such a vulnerable
75 pounds,
person.
that's a big deal, though.
Thank you, man.
Congratulations,
Thank you.
bro.
Thank
Absolutely.
you. It was wild. Yeah. The first time I bought jeans at an Express I never shopped at Express, but because I was younger and all the cool kids shopped at Express, like I don't even think express is like a thing anymore. I don't know. Maybe it is.
It is.
It's not.
Thing.
Yeah, not really. I don't know. But for me, it was like, I got to buy jeans from Express. And so I went to an Express, bought jeans, put them on, and didn't have to tailor them. Because when you're 300 some pounds, they think like your legs are also this big. So if you ever buy pants, they fit on your waist, but also your legs are like this big, like the pant leg. So I always had to get them tailored.
Yeah.
So I'll be able to go into a store and just buy them and put them on.
That boot cut.
Right. Triple boot cut.
It's
like
this wide.
dude, it's like, well, I don't have elephantitis. I'm just heavy. Like, jeez.
Oh man. And if you have elephantitis, it's okay.
Oh yeah,
No
no
disrespect.
no disrespect.
It's okay.
You need those pants, and that's all
Yeah,
right.
that's why they make them.
Sorry, God is good.
Yeah,
All the time.
you're already loved. You're already chosen.
I do want to. You brought up a worship song. I do want to talk about your ministry. You're a worship leader.
Yes.
I do want to kind of take it back a little bit, just how that all started. You know, did you start with an instrument? Did you start off singing right away? What did that look like for you?
Man, I have to give credit to my mom, man. I have to give credit to my mom. When I was, I don't know, 4 or 5, she says 2, but I was like, Mom, who's singing at 2? But, you know, to my mom, right. I was speaking in tongues at the time.
Drop me home.
Yeah. I mean, my mom says I've been doing everything because I'm her firstborn. I think like, wow, Mio, you were doing backflips when you were 3.5, and like I'm like, Mom, it's not possible. Anyway, but she used to. What was that?
I don't know. Kids are built different.
Hey, now,
But nowadays,
We
now.
started teaching them like I would.
right. They're all buff.
They 8 months old and they got a 6-pack. How's that possible?
Those
No.
2 or 3-year-old drummers that are better than me.
It's wild. It's wild. And then I feel like pandemic babies are crazy too. Like, I don't know. Do you guys have babies that were born during the pandemic?
Mine was born March 2020. Or, I'm sorry, January 2020.
January, I was gonna say
Like
March.
that month, exactly.
January 2020. And then March is like when everything started
Yeah.
Shutting
happening.
down.
Yeah.
I was.
So she's pre-pandemic, huh?
She's, yeah.
Kinda.
Well, she went, through that.
Yeah,
so,
that's true.
They say I don't know. I'm baby. They say they're very different. Like
I
they're.
don't know. I've
they're
only
like-
seen this one, so.
No comparison.
I have no idea.
So my mom used to. She used to put me in front of like her bed. She would sit on her bed, and she bought like a desk or something. And she'd make me like preach to her and sing to her and like have services at home. Because my mom wasn't a single mom, but kind of was a single mom because my dad was in and out, or like he worked a lot when finally he came back. So that's it. That's kind of how it started.
Yeah.
And then all my life, she was like making me sing with her at church and like
Wow.
making me sing at home. She would buy me like pistas to sing with and like this is what you're gonna do. Like she molded me and her story is she's like, when you were a baby, like the Lord spoke to me and said he's gonna be a minister of music and this is what he's gonna do. And so she heard the word from the Lord and said, all right, well, I'm gonna do my job to like prepare him for when it's time to do that. So anytime there was an opportunity for me to be on a stage or to work with a singer or to,
That's awesome.
she always. So it's mom for sure. I have to give her
Play
credit.
any instruments?
I do. I play. Well, play is a relative term, but I would say I could play piano. I could play really good in C, enough to like teach and enough to be the last
The
Fair.
boy
choice.
said, "Hey, I'm a beast in C. Don't play with me."
He's like,
They got that.
Hey,
They got that
transpose.
technology for the transpose too.
Yes.
So
I guess
it's
that's
all
true.
good.
Yes.
Aaron knows a
Motherfucker
few
cheat
things
code,
about
bro.
that.
I'm a master
That's
of
like
E
capos.
flat.
That's why I don't want to say I'm a pianist because
I don't either.
all I do is transpose.
Yep,
like
every time.
all
What
day
key in?
long.
All right, 1 second.
-5.
You do that though.
Here we go.
1 second. Here we
Yeah,
go.
I've
We're
gotten
good.
good at transpose too between songs.
In the
I'll
middle, yeah.
hold a chord and change it, and
Absolutely smooth. Yeah.
no questions asked.
funny.
Stan Nord.
That's too funny.
What
I have no idea.
were your funny some of your like your influences growing up musically?
Okay, so this is not gonna make any sense to anybody.
Before and now.
Hmm?
I want the before and now.
The before, like who are my influences before and who they are now.
Yeah.
Okay, so when I first started singing, I guess my influence was my mother. Like,
Yeah.
so that's who it was.
Sure.
And my mom, for some reason, liked, well, because we went to white church, so she liked, like, sorry, is anybody white? I was kidding. You have white listeners? Caucasian church. Oh, Nick, Nick, right?
Yeah,
sorry,
Nick.
Nick. That's all right. She went to,
Good.
yeah. She went to a Caucasian church. We went to a Caucasian church, so like, it
From
was.
the mountains of
She went to
Caucasus.
an Anglo-Saxon church, and I'm just kidding. And so we listened to like Crystal Lewis. I don't think anybody knows who Crystal Lewis
Why
is.
does the name ring a bell?
I don't know. So Crystal Lewis. My grandpa, I think, used to like listening to like Bill Gaither and the Gaithers,
Gaither vocal
Gaither
band.
band, the Gaither vocal band. So I grew up listening to like, it sounds funny, but like quartet. and
Okay.
like really like just not fancy. I think one of my favorite songs growing up was "He is exalted, the King is exalted," and it was like that wasn't like a gospel song. It was like now it is. JJ Harrison redid it, but anyway, so I started doing that, and then something happened. I don't know what. I don't know if like I don't know what happened, but at like age 10, I just got this like hunger for gospel music.
Yeah.
And so on my own, nobody listened to gospel at my house, but on my own, I would look up like best gospel vocalist like in the world. And so then I started growing up listening to Marvin Winans,
I'll say the Winans came out.
the Clark sisters. Yeah. I used to listen to a lot of like Byron Cage and Donnie McClurkin was like my Donnie McClurkin, Marvin Winans, Marvin Sapp. Yeah.
Marvin Sapp still go.
All of them.
Yeah.
And Marvin Winans is my favorite voice of all time. And then I would listen to like Ricky Dillard and his choir, Nikki Ross, Kim Burrell. Like, so I think I started like mimicking them and all their runs and all the things that they do. And like, that's my influence. Always been my influence.
I was wondering, I was like, and then you said you grew up in white church. I'm like, where did he?
How does this make sense?
Voice? Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know where it happened. I want to say maybe I heard one song, like our little white church may have done like, I think everybody was doing "Shake the Foundation with Praise." And I looked that up and then maybe just
kept going.
Yeah. And so now, I mean, everybody's real holy and we all do CCM and Bethel and it's quiet, but we all, but
who's your influencers now?
Who am I influenced by now? Same people, man. Same gospel people. But like when I want to listen to music, which I don't have a lot of opportunities to because we're either learning music for a set or something. Yeah. People that I'm really inspired by are like my friends. That sounds funny, but I'm really inspired by my friends. So like Aaron Barbosa is an incredible musician. I'm inspired by, like, if I want to be inspired, I sit with him and like let him play. And then I'm like hearing things. And my friend Luke, my friend Roosevelt, my friend Brunis, like the One House family, like anybody who's a friend of mine that I can attach to, those people inspire me now. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Edward Rivera.
Yes,
right?
Edward Rivera.
I freaking love that guy.
How did that come about? That track.
Okay, so He Always Provides is the English version, right? So it's a funny story. Not really funny. I hate saying it's a funny story because then no one laughs, but it's not a funny story. It's just a weird story.
I'll support. I'll laugh.
I know. Oh wow, so funny, huh? So New Year's 2020, was that the first year of the pandemic? 2020.
Yeah.
I found this song on YouTube with Chandler Moore.
Right.
And it was a song called "He Always Provides" by this group called One House Worship. I had no idea who they were. Or, they were a newer group coming out. And I binged that song. Like I listened to it over and over and over. Beautiful, beautiful song. It ministered to me. And like, I just fell in love with it. And so we did it at our church. And I put a little like reel of it up on Instagram. And the guys who wrote it, One House, found it on Instagram. I think either I tagged or somebody tagged him and said, like, thank you for writing this song. It's been life-changing for me. And Brunis, who is the producer and the MD for One House, reached out to me and said, bro, we have to connect. And I was like, okay, cool. Like, I thought, I don't know.
Well, that's so cool.
No. I don't know what it meant.
Bro, it's
so,
like,
I was like, okay, cool. Yeah, awesome. Like I know who he is because he's Travis Green's MD. He's a producer, like he's beast.
So crazy.
So I was like, oh my God, what does this even mean? And I grew up in Bakersfield, man. Like there's nothing cool. Like for me, I just thought like everything's huge. Like moving to LA and meeting people and thinking like, whoa, this is amazing. And I never ever thought like
you'd be singing with them
or just connected with people like that because I don't think I'm that cool. And I'm not being fake humble. I don't know. I didn't think anything of it. So anyway, long story short, we got connected. I started doing recordings with them. And one day he was like, hey, we have a Spanish service in Denver, the One House Church in the Potter's House, Denver. And I said, he's like, we want to do some of our songs in Spanish. Do you know anybody who can translate them? I said, yeah, absolutely. So I, pull out my Rolodex of Latino friends who can translate. And we translated a few of the songs and He Always Provides. We sang it. And it was beautiful. It was more, to me, some songs are just prettier in Spanish.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Man, yes.
There's something about it.
Sorry, Aaron. I know you probably don't know what they're saying, huh?
It's still my favorite version.
My boy be singing it too, but he don't know what
it's still my favorite version.
I know.
Like when I saw you guys both sing a song, because I love Edward's style
amazing.
of worship too.
Amazing.
And then I saw both of y'all on. I was like, what the
why?
heck? And then
it's not fair.
Y'all went crazy on it.
He's incredible.
So good.
He's incredible. So
what is kind of your thoughts? I know we mentioned Bethel a little bit, and you ever seen these YouTube videos and people talking about don't sing these songs because they're not biblical?
Okay.
Right? What is kind of your thoughts on that? Because I know we have all our own opinions too, but
I am very, very quiet, but very opinionated. I'm not quiet. I talk a lot. You guys are probably like, man, this guy's he's talking too much. But
I mean, this is your podcast. So good.
You're our special guest.
It's about you.
Yeah, we'll just edit it out.
I was gonna turn off my mic.
No, so I do have a lot of opinions, but I haven't always. Yeah. I think just recently, now that I think leading worship more, and I want to be careful what I declare. So there are some songs I don't sing or I rewrite, like I'll make adjustments to, just because I don't know. I just have my own opinions about certain things. I want to make sure that what I'm feeding people to declare, because as a worship leader, what you're singing is inviting others to declare that as well. Yeah. And I have to make sure that what I'm giving them is theologically sound,
right?
That it's healthy for them to declare things like that. I have one that I always shared. I don't know if any of my students or anybody is watching that knows I'm going to say Champions is not my favorite song in the world. I like the chorus, but the bridge, I don't like very many songs. I don't think they're like, nobody's going to go to hell singing them, but I don't like saying like, when I open up my mouth, every wall comes crashing down. I have the authority. Like, to me, it's too much verbiage about myself.
It's too much.
That's me. That's me. And it's a little old school, because back in the day, I had friends who were like worship directors who were like, oh no, we don't sing that because it's too much about you. It needs to be more horizontal. I do think there's a time and place for them, but me personally, I don't do them just because. There's another one, I think Elevation does Testimony, and there's a line that says, I have resurrection power. Yeah. I don't think I have resurrection power. I think anything that I'm able to do is because of Jesus and the Holy Spirit that works through me. So I say, I've seen resurrection power. So I'll rewrite stuff for me
to tailor it that way.
Just
that's
so
a really good perspective.
No, it's that's big time.
Wow, that is so good. I didn't even think about that.
What? Which part?
Like just having like those. Now that you say those songs, it's true. Like it is a lot of I.
Yeah,
it's not a bad thing.
Which is not wrong, but at the same time, it's like
because
little.
God gives you things, to be able to overcome stuff, but He uses you.
I think I think the assumption in that song and any of those songs is, of course, we know we don't have the power. Right. And I've had these conversations with other worship leaders, and they'll tell you, they'll be like, well, no, of course we know that. My mentality is more about, because there's such a influx of prosperity gospel and an influx of like little G God, like, well, I'm kind of like God because God is in me, and so I'm a God, and so I have to just be careful how I like.
No, I've heard that you just rather not go.
I'm not out of those people.
I stay away from it because even at the core of us, we have pride.
Oh, for sure.
And the more I declare, I have I can, it feeds into that side of it. Okay. If there wasn't so much of that in the world these days, and if there wasn't so much of it, I think I wouldn't care as much. Yeah. But because there's so much like, no, you can do all things, and if God can rise from the dead, you can, and it's true, but it's not all, in my opinion, theologically sound. Yeah. I still am dependent on Holy Spirit. I'm still dependent on Jesus. Yeah. And especially when working with new believers, in our church, we're trying to be very evangelistic and speak to new believers. Yeah. I have to be careful that as a worship leader, I don't feed them something that I don't necessarily think is true right where it's at. I think the assumption is, oh no, they'll understand. If they're new believers, they maybe don't. Yeah. I'm teaching them theology through the songs that we're declaring. Right. So I have to be careful what I declare. I don't like to do so will I. I don't like to do a certain verse of so will I. Just because I understand what they're saying. I get it. Of course I know. But if as believers we're so, okay, I'm gonna say something crazy. I don't even know if I'm anti-evolution in 100%. Well, hold on. They're like, shoot, who do we bring on the podcast?
we're sorry, guy.
I know. No. I'm saying, I know you're like, cut it. No, I'm against, I don't believe that we came from a cell and the universe, I don't believe any of that. What I'm saying is there's obviously things that happen on a microevolution level, creatures evolve and things like that. Do I think we came from monkeys? Absolutely not. But so even singing it, I don't feel like I'm going to hell, singing that, evolving in pursuit of what you said. I don't think that's wrong. I think it was an interesting word choice. Yeah. I think it could have been any other word besides evolving.
And see, that's why I want to bring people like that on to like, hey, what does this mean? You know what I mean?
I never really liked So Will I.
Which
So
Why? Because there's a lot of words, or
no,
'cause-
that too.
I kind of stopped liking Hillsong
I like
out of
So Will I.
nowhere.
Really?
Kind of just don't.
They don't.
I don't listen to them at all. If I'm being totally honest.
really
I
Yeah,
just like for
their
me,
older stuff though. All day.
Yeah, that's
Oily.
true.
Oh, for sure.
shout to
yeah.
the Lord.
Oh,
Yeah.
But
That's
no, for
true.
me, like So Will I, man, I just think it's a creative song.
it's
Like
yeah.
it's just like it's not repetitive, right? So it's always different. Every verse is different in the chorus, same part. But I think it's like they took the time to write the song because God gave it to them, rather than like, you know, what can we do this corporate real quick to kind of get his.
Yes.
Not that worship leaders, you know, and congregation, they're not trying to look for like the next big hit or so. You could have the right mindset,
Yeah.
right heart, right, or not.
Mhm.
But I think that one was just like taking a little bit more time to demonstrate who God is.
I love it. I think it's
Yeah.
beautiful, especially when Osby Berry sang it. I don't know if you guys seen
Oh
Osby sing
yeah,
it.
he's at Transformation now.
Yeah.
guy's something
When he sang it, I was like, "Oh my God!" Like,
That's
okay,
when it
forget
popped
my
off.
theology. No, I'm just
Yeah.
kidding.
That's when that song went
That
platinum.
went crazy.
Yeah, for
That song
real.
went platinum as soon as
Yeah.
that boy put
Yes.
his spin on it.
Yeah. So I see it. I think there are some songs that are too
cookie
creative. Oh no,
too cookie.
too creative for their own good,
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
and too cookie
I
cutter.
can
Yeah,
agree with
too
that.
good.
You know, I think there's some songs that honestly, I could probably go in between me and Jesus singing "So Will I" on the piano, like just me
Yeah.
and the Lord. Like
It's-
I'm evolving in pursuit of what you said. Yeah, but like
I feel like there's different lanes. Like,
Yes.
I feel like there's some, and I'm not gonna say names of them, but like there are some artists that will create. I'm like, this sounds like a country album.
right.
Like, there's a lane for it, I'm sure,
Yeah.
but I'm like, is this something we should sing in worship? I
Yeah.
mean, everyone has their own thoughts on that.
Yeah.
Reason
Can I say the song?
go ahead.
Graves into Garden.
You don't like that song?
You don't like this
I
song?
like it.
Oh, you
but
do?
it sounds like a country song.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
okay,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
you-
yeah.
You turn graves into
Yeah.
yeah.
That
it's
song is so,
country.
it's so oversaying.
I feel like I need a banjo. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
yes.
you know, it's a great song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just don't. You know,
Well, I mean,
I like
let's
it.
see where the camp is coming. It's coming out of it. I mean, what
You got
what's
a point
Yeah.
there.
what state are they
Brand
in?
Lake
Yeah,
singing
you're
too.
right.
It's
Totally
true.
right.
It's true.
North Carolina.
North Carolina.
That is nothing but country.
Yeah.
There you go.
So it's the style of that,
Nice.
and you know what? It works for some churches.
It's fire.
In the
It's
same
a
way that
song.
we-
I love listening to it.
In the same way we do. I mean, at my Latino church, we did like "Una fuego, fuego." Like we had our
Yeah.
own style and our
Yeah.
own spin too. So I get it, but I see what you mean.
Reason why I
Yeah.
asked Rudy is
I know we went off a tangent.
No,
Okay.
no, it's good. It's good. The reason why I asked him like, what are your thoughts on that is because there was a pastor that I saw a long time ago on Facebook. He says, it doesn't matter what you're singing. It depends on who you're singing to.
Yes.
So he starts singing an Alicia Keys song.
I've seen this video.
seen that?
It's actually one of my favorite videos of all time.
Right? So like
'Cause he's
what's-
bad.
Well, Alicia
what is
Keys-
the difference with that? Like it's all about like Miles Minnick said it the other day. It's about heart posture.
Right.
So what if your heart
I don't need hymns to worship him.
right, he
When
doesn't
he
need
said that.
hymns to worship him. And it's
I think that's two conversations though. This is my opinion.
go ahead.
Because I agree. I don't need hymns to worship him. Sure. But
Yeah.
but the idea is the difference between personal and corporate worship.
Mm-hmm.
As a worship leader, most of what I do outside of my personal worship is corporate worship.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So yeah, it doesn't matter what you sing as long as you sing it to him. Great. Yeah, I guess at home I could do that on my
Yeah.
own.
Yeah.
But not when I'm influencing a crowd of people.
Yeah.
And Paul talks about it. Where he talks about, well, there's two portions of scripture. I love that he says one of them is, I can do all things, and not all things are expedient. In other words, not all things are beneficial. So,
Right.
do I have the freedom to do whatever I want? Absolutely. God gives me free will. I can do whatever I want, but not all things are going to be beneficial to me. So that's the first thing. Another one, he says to be careful to not cause another believer to stumble
Right.
in what you do. And for me, no, actually, the scripture says, be careful how you practice your freedoms, so they don't cause a believer to stumble. So I have the freedom to do it. It's not going to send me to hell. And a lot of people will use that scripture in regards to drinking and whatever your
Everything
convictions
else,
are there.
yeah.
So yes, do I have the freedom to sing anything to Jesus? Maybe. I don't know. I don't know what I guess we
I
can
guess
ask
to
him
a
when we're in
certain
heaven.
extent.
Yeah. I wouldn't sing like my humps to him or something. That's right. Maybe. I don't know. Anyway,
Or-
No.
Baby
Yeah.
got back.
I wouldn't-
baby got back. I
I don't
wouldn't.
think Jesus wants me to throw it back at him.
No,
You know?
no, for sure not.
I would say like
No, I don't think so.
For
I don't
sure
think
not.
so.
So I have to be careful. Go ahead.
no, go ahead. No, you-
I was just say, so I have to be careful what I do corporately,
Yeah.
not just for my own sake, my testimony's sake. Who cares about that? It's how is it going to influence the other
Yeah, yeah,
believers?
absolutely right. Absolutely right. another thing too, like I always think like, what were their motives when they were writing the song, you know? And because the only reason why I say only reason why I say that is because people sometimes question even worship songs that are written for God, or my brother who's like can't listen to Christian music, the radio station anymore because it's just so boring, so bland. It's that I'm like, well, hold up, you got to check your heart, man, because at some point somebody, God gave this person the pen and the power to be able to write and create something because He wanted it to be revealed.
Right.
So like it's got to be worship no matter what, no matter how boring or repetitive it's been, So I think about it too, like what were the motives of somebody seeing like, would you say somebody said Alicia Keys?
Yeah.
So
I forgot what song.
I think there's people who go.
What was it? One on?
I don't remember what song. Yeah.
Some people want to know. Yeah. I think some people go to the extreme on both ends because I definitely feel like God. Where's the creativity coming from? I mean, He's the most creative,
right.
of all. He created us and the world, and so I think creativity comes from Him. I think it's what we do with it that's our responsibility. The other thing is, I think there are the other side of the spectrum where people are like, "Oh, I don't listen to this artist because of their theology, or I don't listen to these people. I don't sing their songs because of." Oh, I saw that they were, maybe if my conviction is, not to drink alcohol. Well, I know they drink alcohol, so I don't sing their songs because of their own convictions. And I think the danger with that is none of us could check everybody's convictions, everybody's heart posture. It's not even my responsibility biblically to check every single person. Then I'd have to ask myself, well, how many preachers have I listened to? Have I been under that weren't living according to what I think they should live as.
Right.
And so I think it's dangerous for us to disqualify people. I'm not saying this is what your friend was doing. I'm saying I think it's dangerous to disqualify people once we find out who they are and what they do behind closed doors.
Yeah.
I think you can still take, am I saying it's right? No. But I think you can still take the biblical truth, the song, and, maybe judge the actual product as opposed to the person who's producing it.
Yeah. I mean, we talked about this a little earlier today. There was this pastor that completely changed my life. Right. And he's had some issues, fallen a little bit, and now he's not even a pastor. Wow. I'm like, does that?
Well, yeah,
he's not
a pastor anymore?
No,
at all?
No.
Well, not a pastor of a church.
Not at all. Yeah.
Not at all. Like, not even
not
under
at all.
leadership?
Nothing.
Wow.
So, I mean, does that take away from the life change that he helped me kind of see and kind of refocus? No. Right. So, like, I think that plays off of that big time. And, like, to go back to the worship portion, I think there's two lanes. There's corporate worship and then personal.
Right.
I think everyone has to discern for themselves and for their congregations what that looks like and what that sounds like. But that's 100% on.
Yeah, because there's some worship songs that I still listen to that are probably super old.
Super old.
And if I'm being honest, I've been worshiping more with Spanish music lately than I have English.
Yeah, what's Rudy's song? Go stream it. Go stream it right now. No, that's cool, man. So you did, we've all grown up in music and worship leading and all that in ministry. There is something that comes about called burnout, right? You posted the other day something. You said, I have it written down, rest is an act of faith. What is that, your camera? Too hot? I think it's still good. Oh no, it's not recording. See ya.
It's all good.
It's all good.
Hated that angle anyway. Now I can sit all comfortable. No, I was just kidding.
You said rest is an act of faith.
Yeah.
Why is it so hard for people like us, especially even creatives, to rest?
Well, take it in like a workout, losing weight perspective, kind of establishes the same thing, right? Translates right over too.
Yeah. Okay. I think rest is hard for creatives because we are judged by what we do. And we find value in what we do. We feel like what I produce is my value instead of me as the producer, the person who's doing the work. I'm valuable. I just had this conversation with my wife yesterday because she was feeling a little down about some stuff with her job or her business. And, I said, babe, you're making all of these decisions based on the value of what you think you provide as opposed to you and the value of who you are. And I think because creatives feel like we always have to create or we'll lose our value, we tend to decide to keep working and producing as opposed to resting. The other side of it is if your income is dependent on your creativity and your work,
Wow.
then resting, especially if you have your own business,
You can't rest.
You can't rest. But then me not resting is me not having faith that he is the provider, not my work. And that's why I posted that.
Yeah.
Sheesh.
Was that, and actually I kind of stole it from a friend of mine just in case listening. But a friend of mine is an incredible business owner, and her and her husband were sharing about their business and, hey, we're going to finally take a vacation.
I'm talking about their struggle.
And I felt, they were sharing like, how they, we need to take a vacation, but we just don't know if we can because we don't see work 8 months in advance. We see it 3-4 weeks in advance.
Wow.
And I felt the Lord tell me while they were sharing that in a meeting that to share with them, like, hey, but this is going to be a huge act of faith for you because you're saying, Lord, I'm going to rest in knowing that you are the one who is providing the work that's coming later. And so that's why it's a huge act of faith to be like, hey, I'm not going to work this week and trust that, not in a lazy way, but in a way that says I'm trusting that the Lord is going to provide.
That's huge.
Yeah. So I think that's why I think it's so hard for us to rest,
Yeah. I mean, I think for me, it's like always stemmed out of there is no one else to do it, especially like coming from like smaller churches type of thing. I feel like that's a huge thing. And like you said, it was the first time you guys sat in like 2 years. Right. And I don't know if that's just together or just individually, but I'm
together.
Yeah. Taking the rest, I feel like if you don't, plays into so much of you are going to burn out so fast.
Yeah.
Especially if you keep taking on more and more. That's so
You're going to
crucial.
work so burnt out that eventually when you give up or when you stop, you won't even touch the church.
Because it's just like...
say for what? They're just going to... I'm going to get tired. And I went through that.
Like going through the motions.
Oh, I went through that.
Yeah.
Where I had a mental breakdown. I was like, forget church, bro. I'm just going to just relax for a little bit. And I think the pandemic was real, maybe for 3 months. And then after that, it was back on. But even like...
Isn't that funny that just resting did that for you?
Yeah. I took a break and then I was like, let's go. I'll take one Sunday off and I feel like I need to get back,
Right.
But
no,
it's like that. It's been so me and my wife have been talking about that. Like I'm starting to feel a certain way about playing drums every Sunday.
Yeah.
Because I want to. Maybe it's because I'm burnt out of playing drums and I want to transition to something else. Because my passion is still there for the drums, but my heart is somewhere else.
Yeah.
And it's like, maybe I just...
That's an interesting place to be.
Because I love and I have a passion for drums.
Yeah.
That's what really focused. That's what started ministry for me, was me playing drums.
Yeah.
But now it's like God has given me, all right, well, you can do this, this, and this in the church as well.
Yeah.
But then it's like, I can't though, because I'm back here on drums. But then I know that's our church need.
Yeah.
So why would I stop playing drums because I want to go do this?
Yeah.
Like, I want to do this, but I know this is what the church needs. I still have passion for it, but my passion for this is a little bit more.
Yeah.
Like, and Joey knows that. Because Joey's a music director, so he knows. I share with him all the time.
He's a boss.
He knows that. I'm like, man, dude, but I want to create more of this, and I want to do this for the church more. He's like, well, do it. I'm like, but we can't, bro, because then you can't play drums because this and that. And then I'm like, thank you, man.
See, I would say you can.
But it's just so much. Yeah. And it's like,
right.
And then it's like after I'm done playing drums, it's like, well, I couldn't get no filming done for the worship part of it, or I couldn't do this because I was up there. I don't have enough. I didn't have enough time to get this ready to get that. And then I'm like, Joey, just give me my Sunday off. I promise you, I got you. But like, it's just I want to do more, and I feel like I get sometimes limited because I have to do that.
You know what? It's so funny you say that because you're a drummer. My friend Matt, good friend Matt, is an incredible drummer. Quit on us. I say quit because I'm mad at him because I'm the music director at our church.
Quit on us, man.
He quit. He gave up his ministry. He backslid. No, just kidding. Because he had kids.
Really?
And our kids department at the time wasn't developed very well.
So he wanted to see that need and fill it.
And he told me, he said, look, man, I said, I have kids now.
Yeah.
How dare I enjoy playing the drums and my kids have no Sunday school teacher developing them.
That's true.
And so we had to make a few decisions. The first decision was our church is full of, and we're a small church, small, humble church. Like, and when I say small, but so full of incredible, gifted singers and musicians, like incredible. Can't even speak more of them. They're amazing.
It's Pastor Aaron's church, right?
Pastor Aaron's church, and the spawn of Aaron, which is like all the people he's mentored.
Yeah.
And yet our worship team struggles. Oh no, not struggles. Our worship team is led by one keyboardist and tracks. Everything is tracks. Our drummer is tracks. Our guitarists are tracks. Everything is tracks. 100%. Well, not 100. We have a keyboardist and sometimes a guitarist, but all of our leaders are now married, and God is shifting their hearts in other places. And a lot of times people will stay stuck in a position that is no longer theirs to fill because they haven't taken the time to mentor, develop a new person to take it.
That's true. Mm-hmm.
And what happens is like where you're kind of feeling is, well, I have to be here because there's no one to fill that. And you said it too, like, well, I have to do it because no one else will do it.
Right.
And the reality is I had to come out of that headspace and be like, wait a second. No, somebody else can do it. But the hard part is they won't do it as well as I can right now. Because they haven't had the time to learn like I've had time to learn. Mm-hmm. And we don't like to develop people. It's hard. Developing people is hard. It's so hard.
See, I think for me, it's like I want to see people develop. I have no problem. It's just no one wants to.
Right.
And I feel like that's what it is. I think my heart is shifting for something else.
Oh, yeah. That's good.
And it's like, man, look, I tell people, we enjoy praying selfishly. Lord, bring us another drummer, Jesus.
And me too.
Like, I don't care. As long as he can stay on beat, Lord, like, we'll show him a little bit of what we know. And
Nick
is over there because Nick,
like,
and it's like, it's fine. Like, I don't trust me.
Yeah.
I'll give up my sticks in a heartbeat.
Yeah. You just have to sacrifice in some areas to develop another. Like for us, not having a live drummer is,
tough.
I mean, you guys know how to, it is
very tough.
When we have him, which I've asked him once a month, Matt, can you just do once a month for us? Man, it's next level. It's like, oh my God.
Worship's on a whole other. Yeah.
We've had to learn to flow with tracks. We've had to learn to do acoustic sets and still go in. It's taught us like, wait a second. Holy Spirit is still Holy Spirit, regardless if we have full band, we don't have full band. So we've had to like sacrifice a few areas. It's been hard.
Oh, that's super good. You ever experienced burnout?
Man, I hate this question. Only because
that's off the list too.
Sorry, no. Only because have I experienced burnout?
Or are you intentional about rest?
Okay, no and no.
Neither.
No and no.
Okay.
But, and I'm not trying to be cool, but my pastor taught me this. He said, in every leader, and every member, and every serve team member, and every volunteer, you're gonna have different types of horses. You have, I don't know what they're called, but like you have quarter horses, mile horses, whatever. People who there's some horses that run fast in like a quarter mile, and there's others that are meant to run a long time for a mile. And there's others that are, kind of split the difference. Country,
you got your people that
there you go.
Can just run in the track real fast, run the sprints.
The 40.
Exactly.
You got people that can run 60 miles and be fine.
Be done. Right. They know how to pace themselves. And there are a few of us, and it's either PKs, pastor's kids. Are any of you guys pastor's kids?
Right.
Okay. You two or just them two?
You're
I was gonna say, are you an honorary?
Your grandpa.
Are you an honorary pastor's kid?
So you have to.
Oh yeah, your
Great
grandpa.
grandpa.
Let me tell you why. Because I'm not a pastor's kid. My grandpa's a pastor, but I was never serving under my grandpa. But I feel like I'm a PK because I was at church every day, all the time, all day, every team.
So yeah, you are.
You're an honorary PK.
Life. Yeah, you're an honorary PK.
So you have PK. You have like PK spirit. You know.
Well, definitely.
And PKs can handle it, like.
There's a
long term,
high caliber.
Exactly, high capacity, high caliber, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And so there are a few of us like that. So why do I say that? Because I don't remember the last time I've experienced burnout. Have I been frustrated? Maybe I just didn't recognize it was burnout. But I have yet to be like, I'm done.
Yeah.
I've yet to do that. The only times that I've done that is when I'm serving under somebody who like I just feel is so hard to work with.
Yeah.
Sorry, John.
But I have yet to. I'm done.
My wife could be real hard to work with.
Turning in my keys. Yeah, Sarai, you don't even answer my messages.
Oh no, that's personal.
Love you, Sarai.
So I can't say that I've experienced burnout, but I can't say that I've been good at rest either. I think I'm go. Now I will say, I'm speaking on years of singleness. It might be different now that I'm married, because I noticed that my wife's capacity is different than mine.
Yep.
So I have to be more intentional about, wait a second, I can't be at church until midnight all week long, because I will. My heart is, I'll be there all day long. Yeah. What, we want to rewire the sound tonight? Let's do it. What are we waiting for? Why would we wait?
Like 2 a.m.
Yeah, you guys want to
runner?
I'm preaching the joy right now.
I know. And I get frustrated with people who don't have that energy. I get so frustrated with people.
That's same.
I'm like, what do you mean you don't want to be here all day to try to make this work before Sunday? No, we'll try it again next week. No, let's finish it today, and I'll do that. Yeah. Not everybody's like that, and I have to learn, like, all right, man, I'm not gonna be mad at all my team because they don't want to be here from 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. like me, you know. So
true.
Burnout. I don't know. I feel like I always tell people, I don't know. The joy of the Lord is my strength. I really enjoy what I do, and so
I think that's the line. There is a weird line between frustrated and burned out.
Yes,
because I feel like, if I thought it was burnout, as soon as vision is reignited, because I'm a dreamer.
Yeah.
If I feel like no one's dreaming anymore, I get frustrated.
There you go.
If no one's, let's progress, let's keep going, let's run. If no one's doing that, and I'm the only one pulling that out of you,
right?
I'm frustrated. Maybe that's what I feel like is burnout.
Yeah.
But
because your frustration can lead to burnt out.
I think so.
Because you're so frustrated that you get tired to the point where you're like, I'm done.
Yeah. There's a weird line there.
That's because it's draining. You know,
yeah. Frustration is very draining.
It's just a lack of motivation at some point. Like, dang, dude, maybe I am burnt out. It can lead to that, though, but it is a fine line for sure.
It can.
I think the hardest thing for me, and even now that we've been married for a little bit, is finding time to be intentional about rest.
Yeah.
And finding those, we just trying to practice this barely, those off-limit days for my wife and together. Like, we do not schedule anything.
That's good.
This is just our time.
It's awesome.
Yeah. I mean, even like proof of rest. Overheated because it was producing
we
so
forgot
much.
To turn it off, though. We've had it on for like 4 hours.
But that's like my point, though. Like, it's producing at a rate, shooting highest quality that it possibly can. And finally said,
but why are you preaching about the camera?
I need to cool.
This guy.
I need to cool down. Let me rest for a second.
Go get your guitar, bro.
I feel like we should pray over every camera in the room today.
No, but that's so true. Like, if you don't get your rest, have you found your days?
So, no, honestly, I'm not even going to lie.
I feel like Ashley and I are starting to find that.
Yeah.
We know that Saturday mornings are for Isla's T-ball games.
Yeah.
After that, we'll rest together. But if not, we'll go chill with fam. But that's our resting still. Like, we won't pick up the camera and take pictures.
Yeah.
But that's another thing,
go
though, too.
record or whatever.
That's good, though, because one thing that I've had an issue with in the past is I'm trying to schedule time with my wife and my family around what I already have, like as far as tasks in the church, spending time with people, and I'm putting them in the back burner, you know. But so
I did
marital
that.
counseling, they're like, hey, you know what? Just you guys got to find time for each other first, and then schedule everything around that right there.
Like you never want to like
try to keep it
like your dates. You guys have chose your dates.
Yeah,
I make sure. Oh shoot, we can't do this because hey, Joey's doing this Wednesday, or whatever, and sometimes I hold you to it. I'm like, hey, bro, you going on a date with your girl.
And you know, I love that.
Hey, bro, I tell them all the time, hey, no, you ain't. We not recording. You ain't coming over to finish this, bro. Go spend time with your wife.
That's
even
good.
if it's just you chilling in the living room together. Because I'm going to do that for my wife. I'm going to be very selfish about it. Nope, I'm not doing it. Sorry. Chilling with my wife.
That's good.
Especially knowing we're going to be out here for a couple of days. Shoot, I got to go back, give my wife a couple of nights to ourselves, and
that's it.
Wow.
Wow.
See what he did before too? Physical therapist and all this.
Jeez. You need to go now.
Physical touch is number one for you. Start walking.
You sure physical touch wasn't number one?
I know, bro. He went straight for that. And he only moved one hand too.
Give my wife some quality nights.
He bit his lip a little bit. This guy.
Stare into that camera and do that. Sheesh. No, that's awesome, Rudy. Yeah, I don't want. I mean, there's so many things we could talk about, and I don't want to keep you here all day, man.
I'm good. I'm here. I told my wife to. I thought it was gonna be longer. Actually, I'm good.
Oh, I still have one. I got one more thing. I just wanted to. You're a creative. Right?
Okay.
So I've seen.
Maybe I am.
Yeah, you definitely are.
He dresses like a creative.
Yeah.
Do I look like a?
He has that creative vibe.
Creative culture vibe. Yeah. No, you are a creative. I think we all are. You have a podcast. You used to do YouTube, I remember. You kind of have a podcast. And you dropped 2 episodes.
Dude, I'm terrible. I'm the worst podcast host of all time. The worst.
You have the best voice for it, though.
Oh,
so I was
thank
like,
you.
When you dropped your first episode, I was like, this guy's voice is like perfect for this.
It just sounds perfect.
Thank you, man.
I listen to you all day.
Dude.
But
here, I'm gonna read your Bible for you. Just send me your Bible scriptures.
Hey, I'd be down.
Just
bro.
guide my daily
Read just
prayer.
the whole NIV for me, though, please. I'm gonna listen to it.
No, but as creatives, like we talked a little bit about it right now, just we're always moving. We're always thinking of different things to do. We can improve the sound equipment, right now.
Yeah.
That type of thing. What are you currently like trying to work on, or is there different lanes that you're trying to like, is this where I'm supposed to be creatively? Like, is it a podcast? I know you did YouTube a couple years ago. Is it that? Like, are you still trying to find what that lane is, or?
Yeah.
I know it takes time. Like,
So
for me, for sure.
That's a good question. I feel like creatives we're ever evolving in pursuit of what he said. I'm just kidding.
I was like, wait.
Hey, we just said not evolution. No, I'm just
Bring that
kidding.
MIDI out real
I
quick.
know. No, I'm just
Nothing
kidding.
wrong with Evolving.
I feel we're always like being molded and transformed, and I think we work on limited information, right? Like I can only operate on what I know right now, and sometimes you'll feel something that you're supposed to be doing, and it's the time is the key. Like I'll give you an example. I know I'm supposed to be a father. I feel called to be a dad. I feel like, okay, I'm going to be a father one day. If I wasn't discerning about the time, I would have, like, let's say I was 16, not married, no job. And I was like, I'm called to be a father. Let's have a kid right now. The timing it's so wrong.
Right.
And I think a lot of times, especially if you're like a believer and you're, in some way you get like prophetic glimpses of what you're supposed to be doing. The problem with that is you'll move now for something maybe you're not supposed to do till later.
Wow.
And so there are things that I've launched creatively and I've launched it with limited information. Like, no, I'm called to do this. I'm supposed to be doing this. I have the gifting to do it. I have the skill to do it, whatever. And it's just not the right time. And I feel like I've done that with things like the podcast, with the YouTube channel. I know, and this is going to sound so like self-serving and arrogant, but I know I'm called to like speak into people's lives. I know that. And I thought it's going to be YouTube. Where I'm going to like be an influence to people and show them that you can be normal and be a Christian. Like, that's cool, or it's going to be, the podcast, which I still believe in and I still am going to do it. Excuse me. It's learning how to sift through all the, I'm just going to sound real spiritual, but all the prophetic glimpses of what I think God is doing and like taking it step by step and going, oh, this is what it's supposed to be. Like when I first started coaching, I was a vocal coach, and then I lost weight, and people asked me how I did that. And like I told you guys earlier, I didn't want to be a health coach, but I got pushed into that, and I felt like, wait, this feels right. I'm supposed to be doing this. I'm supposed to be helping ministry leaders lose weight so that they can do ministry full time and not, die early. It sounds terrible, but that's what I wanted to help people do. Right. And then,
so true though.
Then I built businesses around that. And then I got this like heart to help ministry leaders build businesses so that they could do ministry full time. So it went from, I'm a little vocal coach to now I business coach. I sit with ministry leaders, pastors, worship leaders who say, I know I'm called to do ministry full time, but I know I'm not supposed to do it at the expense of my family. Right. Like, because I grew up thinking if you're going to do ministry full time, you just be ready to be really broke. Like be ready to be super broke and your family's going to suffer, but it's okay because that's what God called you to. And, God didn't call us to be rich, which I don't preach that. I don't believe that. I'm not that. But I do believe that there's a fine line between giving my life over to ministry and forsaking my earthly call or my earthly stewardship, which is to steward my family and steward, a friend of mine told me a few years back, he's like, I feel like God is calling you to full-time ministry, but don't let finances be something the devil uses over you to cause you to doubt. Yeah. And he said, be a good steward of your finances so that that is not one of your stumbling blocks. Because a lot of people will give up on ministry because I can't afford to do ministry full-time. And so we had the privilege of learning from other people like Aaron and my friend Phil to build a business that funded the passion of ministry. And so now that's what I do. Yeah, I do health coach and I do vocal coach and I do all that. But my big heart is connecting with ministry leaders who say, I know I'm supposed to be a pastor, but I'm starting a new church and we can't afford to be full-time pastors. So I have to also, you work a 9 to 5. And my heart is to meet with those people and go, wait a second. No, you can. Let me help you develop a business around your passion, yada, yada, yada. So to answer your question, I feel like everything's kind of going in one direction, but it's ever evolving and ever changing. So right now I feel like my biggest task is to be a good husband and learn to balance all those things and be like, okay, where are you leading me, Lord? And let me not be premature and like jump on it right now if it's not the right time. I don't know if that answers your question.
No, yeah, true. I have a few things and I wanted to get your input on. Are we still good on time there?
No, we're good. We got that
still
right.
Good?
We got that.
Yeah,
right
I mean,
there.
there's, I think all of us, like, I want to talk about. He said prophetic word. I feel like all of us in the room have been told, and even for me, like, you're gonna be a leader. When I was a kid, I'm like, what does that even mean?
Right.
Whatever. I don't want to be a pastor because my dad has been pulled away forever. I'm like, that's not for me.
Right.
I've been told you're gonna be a leader. You're gonna be a pastor, whatever, all that. But I feel like it can be just a different road for everybody. And then hindsight, you look back and see like, oh, that's why all this happened. This is why this has happened. That's why we jumped into, creative and started learning this in 2016. And now we're at a podcast in 2022. Like, where is this all, the road winding to? And then you said something you've been spoken over in your life a few times, almost the same prophetic word almost every time. Mm-hmm. And then you also say something that your dad had a pulpit.
Yeah, so cameras, for some reason, my wife was a photographer. Yeah. And I fell in love with cameras. I fell in love with just everything about it. Mm-hmm. And I never really realized I knew what the calling was. They would tell me the same thing. I've got it from several people, actually more than several. It was literally almost identical all the time. Different people, some people that didn't know me, hopping on Facebook Lives, and they're like prophetically. I'm like, how the heck do you know this? Like obviously I know it's God, and I kind of live my life by God gave my dad a pulpit, he gave me a camera, and I really feel like that's what it is. My calling is to have. My dad's calling, of course, he's a pastor. He knows how to influence the room. He knows how to engage a room perfectly. My dad can do that. I know that's what he's called to do. That's his purpose in his life, changing people's lives that way. But I feel like they always said you can have identical calling as your dad, and I'm like, no. My dad came to 2 baseball games. Like, no, I'm not gonna do that. And it wasn't until one of the last words, I'm like, I get it now. I get why I fell in love with the camera, because I'm gonna influence people like my dad did. But instead of a room, it's gonna be a phone. Yeah, it's what you're attached to the most, and that's why I always say God gave my dad a pulpit. He gave me a camera.
That's good.
And you even said like running into things prematurely. I feel like 2020 was very premature for me when I started my first podcast, because not doing it with the right people, to where they influenced me in the wrong way. It's not like it was bad, but it wasn't who I was. And now what we're doing is like,
it's crazy.
Now, like, all right, you want to start early? All right, Nehemiah, let me show you how hard it's gonna be for you. And then when we got together, it was like God saying, all right, you learned. Yeah. Okay, well, now let me excel you. Yeah.
I think seasons is so important because you asked me to do that first podcast with you.
I did.
And I said, I'm not ready for this.
Yeah.
And then you still ended up.
And I should have waited.
Yeah.
And I should have waited at that moment. But I did it.
And then 2 years later, we do it. Yeah. So it's like.
Can I say 2 things? I'm sorry.
Yeah, please.
The first thing is, maybe I should tell you this after the podcast. You can edit it out if you need to, but I think a lot of people our age have a bad taste in our mouth for ministry because of the people who went before us to do it. Yeah. You both mentioned, your dad went to 2 baseball games. You said they took my dad away from, you were referring to him pastoring, right?
Yeah.
And I think I hear that so much in people our age because, oh no, I can't do that because this is what it did to my dad. This is what it did to my family. Just did that, and we forget the principle of succession that we were talking about earlier. And I'm not saying this is for you. I just for anybody who's listening, I think we forget that we are able. It is possible to do it better.
Yeah.
No. Yeah.
To do it different.
Right.
And I think a lot of people miss that because I have a lot of friends who are PKs who are like, I'll never do that. You know, I happen to be under a really great pastor right now, a really great one. Pastor Aaron's dad, Pastor George. Pastor Aaron's great too, but he's a result of his father. All of his kids feel called. All of his kids feel called to pastorship.
Wow.
Which is a surprise because most PKs are like, no, thank you.
They run away.
Right.
See, I feel like that time is gonna come because I know it's still there.
Right.
Like my dad might be taking over a church, and he's like youth pastor, and I just looked at my wife and I just smiled at her because I know that's gonna happen one day, but it's gonna be so different than when my dad.
Yeah,
was
exactly what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
You get to learn from all that,
yeah.
and go. Dad went to 2. No. Guess what? Guess what are going to be days that are you cannot take from me. Are my Saturday baseball days? You know, like you get to make those decisions. I think a lot of times we forget that. We not that you two were, but
Right.
just to encourage anybody who's like, yeah, no, that's me too. No,
So good.
I hate pastorship. You know, I hate all pastors. Like, no, like you get to do it better.
I've even seen like the church quite literally would kill their parents, and it's killed their parents, and now they have this resentment to where the church took my dad quite literally from me, and now they're struggling with that.
Right.
And for me, it was always just like my dad made the best effort to go to the games and to do all that.
He did too, man.
Like,
he would call me every time.
Yeah, so I understand where that would come from. I think we both still feel super, called by God to do that, and I don't know if that's pastoring.
Yeah.
I know there's something there. If it's a camera, I'm still like trying to, even for me, and I'm sure Nemo too.
Yeah.
What does that exactly look like?
Yeah.
Is it pastoring? Is that what it is, or just that's because that's all I know?
Yeah.
So I don't.
I never got angry at my dad.
Nah.
Or I never was mad at.
Bitter.
Not even mad at the people.
No.
Because he
That's what
doesn't.
was called to do.
He doesn't have a dad.
Mm.
So my dad is the dad.
Yeah.
At that moment. She doesn't have a husband, so my dad and my mom going there, that's big brother, big sister going to help. So I think my perspective was always different. They're like, hey, your parents never come to the game. I'm like, you know what? They're helping someone else.
Yeah. But culturally too, though, like even to speak to that, because I'm hearing you say that and go, oh my God, it's all making sense. Because the leaders before us didn't develop other leaders. It wasn't that they were bad leaders and didn't want to develop. My people that I knew was figure it out. Yeah. Or if no one does it, I have to do it.
Yeah.
And so so many pastors, leaders, maybe our friends' parents or your parents were like, they planned the park barbecue, they cooked the barbecue, they prayed for the barbecue, they did the Bible study after, they followed up. And our culture is a little bit different in that we're learning to go, no, I'm not doing this by myself. We're all doing this together, so that when so-and-so calls can you come pray for my family? Absolutely. We have a minister so-and-so, we have pastor so-and-so, we have Mr. so-and-so. The community is so different in church now than it was in previous times.
That's one thing I do love. Yeah.
It's huge. It's a big shift.
Our pastor might not, maybe our pastor's a little different, I guess, because he'll, like when I was sick, when I was in the hospital for COVID, not only did my pastor call me, but I had obviously the whole worship team.
Right.
But I had some of the leaders in the leaderboard. I had some of the leaders that I'm like, how do you even have my number? I don't even care, but you're praying for me.
Right.
Like that to me even meant more, and
it's huge.
It's different. It's been a shift.
Yeah.
Because I do remember my dad's like, hey, yeah, we're planning the cell groups,
And he's doing them all.
And I'm like, Dad, I've been to 16 homes in 3 days. I don't want to, and I laugh, but then my dad, he started to realize but the guy who's hosting the house, he can do it.
Right.
Let me just show you so I don't have to go do it.
Right.
So then it was easier. So, I feel like my dad had to go through he did what he did with me. So then he didn't miss a game of my little brothers.
Wow.
And I loved it. And I would go with him. And
That's good.
Me and him got a lot of texts. We got a lot of technicals.
Yeah.
Technical fouls. You know what I'm saying? So I'm kind of glad my dad didn't go to my games because I probably would have got kicked
messed
out.
you up.
But I've seen it and he does now. He doesn't miss Isla's. I've missed Isla's half of her first game because I was working, but he was there.
Wow.
And he took her, and I'm like, man, to me that meant more to me than when he came to my game. I'm like, forget that. Go to my daughter's game.
I forgive you, Dad.
It's discipleship,
and I never hold it against him. That's the one thing I
beautiful.
did. I never held it against my dad. Sure. And my mom, my mom never went to a game. The one game she went, I pulled my hamstring during freaking warm-ups.
There you go.
So she didn't get to see you play?
No, I was in the
Pulled
bench.
the hamstring.
I sat next to him, actually. watching the game.
She said, "I'm never come back."
You know, she didn't get to come back anymore because of ministry, and I was okay with it. I never hold a grudge. And I told him, I was like, I understand what you were going through. I don't. Not once will I ever be mad at what y'all did.
That's good.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't hold hatred for the parents
Right.
or anybody else, but learn from that. Don't reinvent the wheel. You know, you learn from the mistakes, the good, the bad, the ugly you were talking about earlier. But ultimately, now it's just delegating, discipleship, build up leaders. I want to make people that are better than me. You know.
Yeah.
I look at like
heck yeah, man.
like this guy's little brother right here, Chris Sandino. Bro, I know he's got a fire for God, his little brother, and just amazing music theory. Just like you surpassed me in music theory already.
Wow.
He's only been playing the piano for 2 years, you know. But this kid's gonna be better
That's
than I
true.
am.
He hears stuff that we don't hear.
Yeah.
But that takes humility as a leader like you too, and I commend you for that because the generation before too. I won't say even now, like any young cat that started. Why did I say cat? I never say cat. I don't know where that came from.
You're getting old, Rudy.
Oh my gosh, is that it? Is that 30 years
It's
old?
the couch.
Old
the
young
couch.
It's the
lad.
couch?
It's the couch. It's the old head you're sitting with.
It's a spirit. What is it? What is?
That's the spirit.
It's El Monte's around there. I'm just kidding.
30.
I know. No. So, young guys will start coming up, and like the guys will feel like threatened, like, oh, wait a second, you know. And you're saying, no, let's call them higher. That's a totally different cultural shift too.
Yeah, Joey's real, man. He's so great at that. Like he sees something in you. He's like, come on, we got to pull that out of you.
Yeah.
Because
That's
we know
Let's
what you
develop
can,
that.
know what you can do.
And I'll tell you this, I emphasize on things like that because it wasn't given, that opportunity wasn't given to me as a child, you know, growing up.
You just said it. You never missed a Sunday, man. I had a wrestling tournament. I had to cut it early because I had to go play drums on Sunday at 13 years old,
Right.
12 years
Driving
old.
back from Nevada.
Yeah.
My dad was like, hey, I know it's 6 o'clock right now, but church starts in 2.5 hours.
Right.
Let's get there.
You know,
Wow.
That's good. Good priorities.
Yeah.
that's good. That's wow.
I have two more questions
Go.
for you.
Go.
What are you most excited for in the next year time frame?
Oh man, what am I most excited for? Honestly, man, it's hard. It's hard to answer that only because I feel like I'm in a place where I have no idea what God is doing. It sounds like such a cop-out answer, but I just feel like I'm in this constant state of wonder with the Lord. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing right now? And it's enjoyable. I'm enjoying like, all right, what's the next step? If I had to pinpoint it, I'm excited to be a better husband. I know it sounds so cheesy, but be a better husband and be a better leader to the people that I get to lead. Like, I want to see my church grow, not just in number, but like in quality people. I want people to be saved and like, it sounds dumb, right? Like, I wish I could tell you like, I'm excited. I got a new track coming out, new record. I haven't feel any of that. I don't feel any of that right now.
It's
And
on an old track.
that was old. I got a new 8-track coming out. No, I'm just kidding. So no, right now I'm excited about like really digging roots at my church and with my wife now. And, you know, that's what I'm excited about. We do have music coming out like with One House and stuff. I'm excited about. Of course I'm excited about that.
Yeah.
But you know, I don't know. I'm enjoying this like growth time.
That's sick, man.
like
Do you,
slowly,
are you part of like their worship team or?
So I am a
band?
part of the group. Yeah.
Yeah.
One House. It's honestly, it's just a collective of people from other churches that created that joined this collective.
Kind of like it's kind of like Maverick City or all that.
Kind of, I guess you in the collective
Same
way.
concept, yeah.
Same concept of collective. Yeah. It's amazing. It's amazing. I think what I really like about what One House is doing is, especially the new music that's coming out, is it's very musical. So it has like the feel of gospel where there's like intricacy in the actual music,
Yes.
Right.
but also like singability, and you don't get both of those often.
that's
my
true. Very
favorite
true.
type, bro.
You know what I mean?
That's
Either
what
one or
we
the other.
love. We love here.
I love taking like the CCM songs and sprinkling and gospel
Yes.
seasoning. I'm like, oh,
Give it that
Yes.
come
flavor.
on.
Yeah, and I think that's really, it's new. It's I mean, it's beautiful. I love what we're doing, and I feel honored to be a small part of that.
That's awesome.
What's
Yeah.
your favorite like your number one favorite thing of being a part of One House?
Oh, okay. It sounds self-serving, but I love the challenge of being around just such gifted people. Like, it just feels good to be in a space that like I literally just feel like I'm soaking every time I'm there. I'm soaking. Like I told you, I'm really the biggest influences right now are the people that I get to like learn from and glean from. And so I really love that. I also love that we're a collective of it's a collective, but there's this like mutual respect that you bring something that I don't bring, and you bring something that I don't bring, and so like we get to see everybody highlighted in different areas, awesome. And it's really, really cool. There's no superstars. I get that question occasionally, and I like to say it just feels like there's no superstars.
There's no pride.
What's the question that you get?
Like what's your favorite part? What was your favorite part of being part of one house and doing that? And my favorite thing is there's no superstars. Like I think there are people who could be the superstar of the team. You know, there's always like the Beyonce. There's always
you're like,
yeah, we all know like it's you, but you. Like they would never say that, and they would never treat you like that, or they'd never expect it. And there's just there's a real high level of humility on the team that I really respect. But like humility and like skill, man, they're so gifted.
That's awesome.
They're so gifted.
You know who you would sound good with? Natalie.
Natalia?
Yeah, they would go crazy.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Natalie. We're planning a worship night for Fresno, everybody.
Set it up. Man, set it up.
I'll be there, man. My grandpa would be so happy if we went to Fresno.
Let's set it up, bro.
I'm down, bro.
Aaron,
after summer, please.
Okay.
You said after summer?
I work at a summer camp, so I'm like gone.
You'll be gone for a little
bit.
When's good? August?
After,
So September? Okay.
September it is.
Let's talk about that.
Yeah, we'll talk about it. Last question for you. Just in all your experience in life so far, in your 27 years.
In all my many years.
All your many years, since we're not young cats anymore.
I know.
He's 72 right now.
72.
Yeah.
What is something you wish someone would have told young Rudy?
Younger Rudy.
Yeah.
You're still young.
Yeah.
You're still young.
I know. What is something I wish they would have told younger Rudy? That's a great question.
Like you can go back in time and say this one piece of advice to young Rudy. What would that be?
I would say, this sounds so cheesy, but it all makes sense. Like everything's going to make sense. It's all going to it all has a meaning. It all has a plan.
That's a good.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I wish somebody would have told me in the weirdest, ugliest, hardest seasons of my life, this is going to make sense. Like, this will make sense.
Don't worry.
Yeah. Just wait. Like, I look back now, even in just, sorry, what was that?
I said just don't question it.
Yeah. Or question if you want, but it's going to make sense.
Stay
I wish
I
can go back in time. Have you guys seen that? What's that new Ryan Reynolds movie on Netflix?
Oh, The Adam Project.
The Adam Project. I wish I could be like that and go back to my kid self and be like, go through this. Go through it.
It's good for
Trust
you.
me.
Trust me. Happen.
Yeah. And because there are seasons in my life that I'm like, man, why? Like in the season, you want to be like, Lord, why? Like, why? But even the most minute, silly things, like my mom and dad always they let me do when I was young. I don't know why. I was 4th grade. I wanted to be a part of a play that they had at the school. Dumb. I probably make fun of someone now who does that. But 4th grade.
To be an actor. It's all right.
I guess. No, what it was is I didn't know God was preparing me to be comfortable
on stage.
in front of people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because a lot of people deal with stage fright and performance anxiety and all those things. And I haven't dealt with that because not just that, but if you go back years, my mom would sit me in front of a pulpit, like I told you guys. Sit me in front of a pulpit and go, okay, preach to me, sing to me.
Okay.
Preparation time is never a wasted time.
Yeah, right.
Shout out to
Pastor Anthony.
Anthony smacked me in the face one day
right.
saying that.
So I think that's what I would say. This will all make sense. Even now, I'm like, okay, I can't wait to be 37 and be like, all right, that made sense. That's why I went to this podcast with these guys in
that makes sense.
Arcadia at this house I've never been to before.
Yeah, it's stranger's house.
The house that has all kinds of issues.
Oh yeah, we don't talk about this Airbnb.
Hopefully your Airbnb owner doesn't.
This room is nice.
Doesn't watch this.
You know what? We'll leave a good review.
Y'all, this corner's nice.
Living room,
you could.
Living room,
we
fire.
enjoyed the
Fire.
living room.
Thank you.
AC, cold.
Is that good or bad? Do you like cold?
Oh yeah,
Me
it was
too.
an ice cube in here.
It actually was good,
freezing.
dude. Yeah.
So we had a temperature set at I set it to 65.
65?
It was at 51.
Oh shoot.
We were freezing. Okay, I gotta put this at 75.
I don't know how it got to that. That's so weird.
Did it by itself.
That's a dream, man. I love cold. Since I got married, I haven't been able to go under 72. My wife won't let me.
Oh,
That's a struggle.
really? Oh, my wife be like, turn that thing down. It's
No.
hot. I'm
Oh.
like, yes,
Always
I love
cold. I turn the fan on, windows open. I'm like, it's not cold. This is like
Yeah.
fresh.
No. At
Is your
70.
blanket-
No, I'm lucky. Sadie's not like that either. She loves the cold. as well.
you. Yeah. Ashley's like, no,
Oh,
65, 60, you know.
Okay, did they change when they got pregnant though? Or they've always been like that?
She got hotter when she was pregnant.
Hey, that's personal, but
No, I mean, that too. Yeah.
She was.
I ain't gonna lie to you. My wife was,
looking.
I told her all the time, like, you were way more beautiful when you were pregnant. She's
That's
like,
kind of jacked up.
I just say jokingly, she's like, well, then get me pregnant. I'm like,
all right.
It's a sailor.
That's actually that's a fact.
I'm like, let's wait till the
Yeah.
end of the year. No, I felt way more attracted to my wife for some reason when she was pregnant.
This sounds so bad.
No, it's
I
so
don't mean-
true.
No, I don't mean it about. She
no,
knows.
He means it in the.
I
No,
know.
like,
We
I'm
get you,
like,
we get you.
she's
Sounds
like,
horrible.
why you look so much more attractive? Like that belly just looks beautiful. on
My
you.
Bible teacher in my senior year of high school told me that. It's like, just wait. When your wife's pregnant, you're gonna have this crazy attraction towards her. I'm like, maybe it's because. Never mind.
Because there's a kid in her.
Well, there's a kid in there, and you can't
Yeah.
Yeah,
as much, and so I can imagine that.
I
there's-
mean,
you're yearning for it more.
that's a different podcast.
I don't know what kind of podcast this is, so I just want to be careful.
My mother-in-law flat out said it. Hey, she was already, I think, a few days late. She said, "Go do it." She told me flat out, "Go do
I
it."
got told that too.
She said, "Go do it 4 or 5 times." I'm like, hold up, wait, whoa.
And then Isla was right there.
And then wait the next day.
And then 3 days later, the baby then came.
Oh,
3
3
It
days.
still didn't work. She was in labor for 72 hours.
I could preach, bro.
72 hours? Oh, I misunderstood what you said. Your mother-in-law told you while she was pregnant
No, go.
because she was
I thought you
late
were
from
saying
having
She
the
was
baby.
late. She's like, go pop the. I'm like, I don't. Like,
That's what she. No,
My mother-in-law
that's
crazy.
a different conversation right there.
I was on another.
so
Yeah, I was like,
Oh,
oh,
no.
so when you consummated,
You got
oh, okay.
Did you get what I was saying?
She told you to go do the thing, right?
Yeah.
No, I
So you
know,
got
but
it,
not while she was pregnant. I didn't
Oh, no,
understand.
she
that.
said,
the
"Why
first
was
time
I
she
under-
was late.
I understood.
The very first time she was late.
I thought when she was
no.
late, like, because
Oh, we didn't tell nobody that she was late
Yeah,
on.
perfect
I didn't even know
opportunity.
she was late.
Fully developed child.
I didn't even know she was late. Hold up.
never mind.
8 months,
Say
28
it,
days.
say it, Rudy.
No, I just didn't. I was saying, how's your baby's head?
It's fine.
No wonder, bro.
We
She's
didn't do it.
active, bro.
Oh,
No. We didn't do it. I went and got a bouncy balls and let her sit on the bouncy ball, and we went for a lot of walks. A lot of walks. I
How's
felt
your baby's head, bro?
it's all deformed on right here. She still has her soft spot.
It's the soft spot, man.
No. We didn't. No. I didn't listen to that. I told Ashley, no, let's find other. I was like,
Other options.
I didn't feel right.
Because you couldn't perform.
And she was in pain. I'm like, no, we're not doing that.
no.
So we went for a lot of walks, and they said she was on that, just bouncing on the ball, and then finally, I don't know what happened. They had to break her water.
Yeah.
Oh.
So
The same thing with my wife. They had to pop it.
yeah, but
Break
they
it.
but they induced your wife a lot faster than mine. They popped her water on Friday night, and she still didn't have Isla until Sunday.
Poor
And that's why
Rudy.
Isla was in the
Poor
hospital.
Rudy.
for a week.
72 hours?
That's why she was in
I
the
know.
Isla was in the hospital for a week after that because she had gotten an
Whoa.
infection because of this.
Yeah,
you know?
same.
I was mad at the
Mine did
doctors.
too.
I was ready to swing at somebody.
Because once it pops, man, you gotta have that baby soon.
They didn't want to induce her. Oh no, we'll wait a little bit.
Yeah.
I said, listen, woman, I want my daughter. I'm already annoyed with y'all fools.
I can imagine, man.
I had to, I had to get resaved after that.
Did you watch the pregnancy?
I helped pull out.
Oh,
the
man.
baby.
Really?
Yeah, he told me
Bare
how to.
hands and
He told me
everything.
how to do it. He's like, hold it. He's like, he like literally. made
That's
my-
crazy.
And he's like, when the baby comes, he said, we're gonna do it together. I said, all right. I'm balling my.
Really? Did you?
I did not because it ended up needing. My wife is really tiny.
Okay.
She ended up needing to do it the other way.
Got it.
Oh.
So I didn't get to. I didn't want. I would have passed out, bro. I don't like
Really?
blood.
Oh,
Blood
no.
You're
to
not a
me.
blood person or what?
I'm
I
not.
loved it, man. I
Nah.
want to do it for the next 2 kids that we have.
Pull them out.
Yes.
Yeah, I didn't help.
Hey, you're
him,
going in
though.
with the
I
gown
watched.
this time. You're going to have all your.
I had the whole guy.
He's gonna
Yeah.
know.
Like
He's
this.
like, I'm ready for this.
Doctor, step aside.
I've done this before.
I know what I'm. I like how he handled her the one time. He like grabbed her and just.
Though I
do
hear
that.
they're rough.
It's every day for them.
I was going to say,
That's
it's
why.
like,
But babies are like rubber. You just hold them upside down like this, swing them around. The bones are still malleable, so they're still able to bend. They're not hard.
what's the CPS number for Fresno? What's the CPS Fresno number?
You just can go like this with them.
No, I know what you mean
But
though.
that's what they do.
No,
man. They're
I-
like
yeah.
this. They're just like spanking their butts and everything, and lay them down.
I mean, they're
the
like squeezing the stomach and then squeeze. Yeah, I mean,
I saw the lady like forming Isla's head a little bit better.
Oh yeah.
She had. Man,
They
thank
formed
God
her head better.
Yeah, thank God her head wasn't like that because her head was very.
No, dude, they could be cone.
She would have almost been. She would have
help
been Mega Mind for sure. Mega Mind if she didn't get fixed.
Megadome, bro.
Yeah,
Megadome.
So
shoot,
how did we get on kids?
I don't know. It might have been my fault.
We are scaring Rudy right now.
I know I'm maybe 3 more years. I feel like my time for having a baby keeps getting shorter though. But I said 5 years. I'm like 5 years, and now I'm like 3 years. But
next year,
it depends. The conversation.
She goes home.
Surprise! I know.
He's like, oh,
Whoa.
right now.
Yeah. Oh,
and now he's gonna
Yeah,
go.
it's
That
perfect
podcast
timing.
all made sense.
I know. Now I know.
She called you guys, huh?
Preparation.
Shoot.
Surprise!
No, man. Thank you so much for. I don't want to
Thank
take too
you.
much of your time. Thank you for being with us and
Thank you, man.
meeting us crazy people from Fresno.
Hey,
But
that's where they're from, the valley. Nah, I'm just kidding.
the valley. But thank you, man. It was an honor, honestly, just to get to talk to you about certain things. And I wish we could probably do 1,000 of these. But yeah, thanks again. And do you want to talk? You want to say anything to?
No, thank you guys. This was fun. I'm honored. I really didn't know what to expect, and
Yeah.
wow, I'm just getting choked up.
Need some of my water, bro.
No,
We have some tissues.
I know. No, it was fun. Thank you. I appreciate it. It was easy to jump in and talk with you
We
guys.
loved having you here, man.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, it was a great
Appreciate
conversation.
it, bro. Thank you.
You want to close us out, Nemo?
I thought I was gonna have Joey close.
Oh, Joey.
because he's the one that's dressed like our manager right now.
Like a manager.
Handle my
Yeah.
finances, bro.
I know nothing.
Either
about,
that
I'm
or
just
give your nephew back or your cousin back his.
kidding.
Wow.
So leave me alone.
Dang, they're on you,
Violate.
Joey.
Hey, give Steven Furtick back his shirt.
Oh yeah. Does he look like Stephen Furtick a little bit? Just Mexican.
Kind of,
We'll
I
let him
guess.
stand up. And
Okay,
then, yeah,
okay.
You'll see.
I can see what you see.
And what is that? Man, I don't believe
All right,
it,
just
man.
close this out.
Facial hair, the tight shirt. I
Listen,
get it.
guys,
I get
don't
it.
watch this podcast. Don't listen to anybody here. No, but we appreciate it. If you guys haven't followed us, go ahead and follow us right now. Click the like button and subscribe. We want to say thank you again to Rudy for joining us on the podcast.
My
guys.
honor.
We'll catch you guys later on the next one. Love you guys.
Peace.